Good evening, radio fans, and welcome back to another episode of Davey Max Tales from the Satellite. I'm your host, Bobby Tamburo, and joining me as always is the Tom Brady of Davey Max Tales from the Satellite, the star, the best to ever do it, Eastside Dave McDonald. I hope you're as excited as I am because this week's episode is Super Bowl II.
Here we go, baby. Super Bowl Special 2, the episode so nice we had to do it twice. The bottom line is Robert and I found so much good Ron and Fez Super Bowl stuff. We had the fantastic, if you didn't hear it, I don't know what you're doing, but if you didn't watch it and listen to the Super Bowl Special, the one we just did, that's when we had the huge Super Bowl party. So many of us were there and so on and so forth. This one, we're going to be jumping around from 2008 to around 2012.
Back and
we're going to be dealing with a lot of giants. We're going to be dealing with a lot of Super Bowls. We're going to be dealing with fun. We're going to be dealing with Fez Super Bowl commercial review and recap. And that is one of the highlights of the episode. And let's see if it goes haywire or not. I'm not sure if Fez's Super Bowl commercial review went according to his plans, but to the audience's plans, it was fantastic. We got all kinds of stories. And this is very important, Robert.
Hit it, Dave.
On this episode, you will hear the origin story of my encounter with Chris Berman.
Oh, yes. The legendary experience.
And a day or two. No, yeah, it was the day after the Super Bowl. I called Ron and Fez from Indianapolis. This is the second Giants-Patriots one. And I told them all about the Chris Berman scenario, the incident that got me put on Deadspin.
Of all places, you and
Bleacher,
fucking Brett Favre's
Bleacher Report, they all were insinuating that I had some sort of mental instability. They all kind of inferred that I had a few screws loose. Well, I'm like, who are you people? You don't know me.
I'm glad you say that because we actually may find some of the reasoning for that within the episode. Something I wasn't aware of until I went back and listened. Some origin story for that in particular. But before we get too far into it, Dave, if you're sitting here in the middle of March Madness, going the championship for March Madness is going on right now. Why are they talking about the Super Bowl? The issue is you haven't joined the Patreon.
Well, yeah, you're clearly watching on YouTube, but these come out first on patreon.com/eastsidedave. Make sure you're subscribed. It's only $2.50 a month to subscribe, and then you get these before anyone else. Getting back into the Saturday mornings with David routine, other exclusive videos, and early access to all of your favorite shows. So you got to be subscribing to patreon.com/eastsidedave. Hold on, Robert. There's one thing I wanted to show.
Please show.
Because by the time this goes up on Patreon even, okay, I am assuming and hoping and wishing and praying that Mr. Eli Manning will be making the Football Hall of Fame. Here's his jersey. I got an Eli jersey in case you could tell. A lot of people don't know. He's very small.
Midget.
Yeah, people have no idea. Eli Manning is the same height as Bilbo Baggins. This has been researched and confirmed by many authors. No, this was Stanley Mack's little Eli jersey in 2008, the year the Giants. We got it right out of the. We were ready to go, And boom, there you
I
have
would I would venture to say that was probably the best Super Bowl of your lifetime. Would you agree?
Yeah, the one we just heard. Yeah, the first Giants Patriots. Well, here's the thing. Arguably, the second one was a better game. The first one was the greatest fourth quarter I've
Yeah.
ever seen. The second one, the one that I went to in Indianapolis, was actually a great game because it was 4 quarters of back and forth, and then culminating in Eli's insane throw to Mario Manningham on the sideline. The greatest. Everyone talks about the Tyree catch. The greatest throw in Super Bowl history is Eli Manning to Mario Manningham from the end zone, an absolute dime, 55 yards away. When that happened, I'm telling you, I was in the building. All of the Giants fans got up. All of the Patriots fans sat down. It was amazing. The energy in the building. The Patriots fans were rubbing the temples, doing this type of move. And the Giants fans, like myself, were literally like, we're going to win another Super Bowl. We're gonna have another miracle win where this doofus, Eli Manning, who can't win a second grade spelling bee, but guess what? We don't care. We care about winning Super Bowls, Daddy.
It was kind of the last of the jocks beating the nerds. Like, Eli was the traditional quarterback. The jock may not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but boy, could he sling the rock. And now you've got all these science guys playing it,
Yeah, no, Eli's the best. So I hope Eli's in the Hall of Fame. I'm assuming he's going to be made. They're making that decision or announcement on Thursday night, Thursday, February 6th. So I'm hoping that by the time people are watching this, Eli is in and we can call him Hall of Famer Eli Manning. Also, Robert, real quick, I have another jersey here, and this was given to me by a fan.
Oh,
look at this. Isn't this beautiful?
That's an amazing jersey. That's a Saquon.
Yeah.
That's a nice jersey.
Too bad Joe Shane fucked me straight in the ass by trading our best goddamn fucking football player. And now Joe Shane fucked me so hard in my goddamn fucking ass I can't even sit down. I got Joe Shane cum leaking out of my ass left and right. I went to take a fucking bus the other day to go to fucking Trenton to get some fucking funds from the government, and no one would sit next to me because Joe Shane's ass was coming out. His cum was coming out. It was leaking all over the fucking bus seat. This motherfucker should have been a Giant for life. Instead, we got this the guy gave $30 million to a linebacker when he wouldn't pay Saquon $14 million. Now tell me if that math adds up. That math ain't mathin' for the Dave man. I see the kids on the fucking Twitter and they have these little phrases. The math ain't mathin'. Well, I agree, children. Because I'm going to not pay one of the best players in football $14 million a season. That's all they needed. Instead, I'm going to randomly give some linebacker $31 million a season because I'm Joe Shane. I'm a fucking moron who comes in every Giants fan's ass. So guess what, Shane? I'm now pregnant with your fucking shit, baby.
Shit, baby.
It's off to a weird start. Robert,
I'm kind of hoping
Super Bowl Special 2 is going to be a fucking weird one, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're going for. Super Bowl Special 1, that was your classic game. That was your classic episode. Super Bowl Special 2, look for a crazy-ass game. What was that? Steelers-Cardinals was a crazy-ass game. Remember Harrison bringing that fucking ball? At halftime, he recovered the ball. He fucking brought it like 90 yards with no time on the clock.
It was amazing. Or this one might even be more of a Ravens 49ers where Kaepernick was winning. Yeah. Then the lights shut off for a while and they had to reset the game.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this has got Ravens Niners all over it for sure. The Harbaugh brothers battling each other.
Ironically, I was on morphine watching that Super Bowl and I'm on morphine now. Yeah.
But anyway, we're going to have the Super Bowl Special 2 right here, right in front of us. We have some fantastic audio and tidbits and stuff to play for you. So I'm very excited, actually, for this episode.
And much like you're hoping by the time people are watching this, Eli's in the Hall of Fame, I'm hoping by the time people are watching this, Saquon Barkley has done the reverse Tiki Barber, where the team left him and then he won the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Oh, God. Well, it's really hard for me to want to root for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
But I will root for them to win the game if Saquon goes off and goes for like 150 to 200 yards. Then I will actually root for the Eagles to win because I want then Saquon. If he's good, but I don't want the Eagles winning and Saquon, rushes for 73 yards. Then I feel like that was wasted. But if Saquon goes off, then I want the fucking Philadelphia Eagles to win the Super Bowl so that I can just scream at Joe Shane for the rest of my life that he's ruined the New York Football Giants organization from top to bottom. I can't believe it. I can't believe we have such a pussy owner in John Mara that he doesn't realize when catastrophic mistakes are being made. We saw it with the coaches when fucking McAdoo randomly wants to bench Eli for Geno Smith. And not Seattle Seahawks Geno Smith, former Jet interception machine Geno Smith. All of the Giants fans got wind of that. They called up. They fucking screamed at John Mara through WFAN in New York. Reverse this decision. It's Monday. It's Tuesday. Reverse it. Because people had known all week that the fucking Geno Smith is going to start. Mara was too weak to do it. Just like he was too weak to tell Dave Gettleman, what the fuck are you doing? And now he's too weak to tell Joe Shea. He literally said on HBO, if Saquon, our most popular player by far, goes to Philadelphia, I'm going to have a hard time sleeping at night. And Joe Shade said, hey, John Mara, suck my ass. I got some cum for your butt now. Just like I fucked Davey Mack in the ass. I fucked every Giants fan in the ass. Now I'm going to fuck the Giants owner in the ass. Because Shane literally ignored that entire fucking segment. Let Saquon go to Philadelphia where he has become top 3 player in the league. Come on.
Yeah, by the time it's all said and done, he may be one of the greatest running backs of all time.
Absolutely. Anyway.
My favorite meme I've seen so far about this Super Bowl is after Saquon Barkley's 60-yard touchdown gets called back for a holding nobody saw, and then it's the commercial with Andy Reid on it, Bundaroo, and it's like you're ready to kill yourself. Yeah. So we are talking, like you said, about the 2008 and pretty much the 2012 Super Bowl, and those would probably have been the two biggest, two giant Super Bowls. We're going to learn all about that. Last time, we learned that while you were watching, again, your favorite Super Bowl of all time with probably your favorite people of all time, Ron and Fez on air, there was a party being thrown at your house.
So I always threw a Super Bowl party, always, and I always liked a lot of Super Bowl parties. We were always having the Super Bowl party. The funny thing is, the two Giants, Super Bowls against the Patriots. The one last week's or last episode that we discussed. I was in studio. And then the second one, I went to Indianapolis and the party was still thrown at my house.
That's probably not a good omen.
It was to keep the streak of Super Bowl parties at my house going for 4, 5, 6, 7 years straight.
And I mean, if they won the Super Bowl when you weren't able to be there, and then you're not able to be there again, you kind of have to out of superstitions.
Yeah, I didn't care. I was in Indianapolis watching the Giants win the Super Bowl in person, so that's fine. Have your party. I believe the parties started at the apartment in Brooklyn, the apartment that and you'll hear, I'm sure, you will hear.
We'll get
Fitzy, and you'll hear from Fred from Brooklyn. And I got shit from Fred from Brooklyn for my entire life.
Of course.
He offered his truck.
Easy. This is like we're on a break from Friends, you and Fred. He offered the truck.
Nobody offered. Well, you'll get into the call. The call is gonna show you. But Fred from Brooklyn offers the truck to move so I can move my shit from my fucking hellhole apartment from Queens into a slightly less hellish apartment in Brooklyn. And so Fred offers the fucking van, but it was like he was Forrest Gump saving, I'm Bubba and he's saving my ass at Vietnam or something. Like for the rest of my life, I had to hear about fucking Fred. You know, I lent you the van. I lent you the van. I appreciate it. I thank you. I bought him dinner one time. You know, what else do you do to someone? Like you, at a certain point, don't we, you know, aren't the 8,000 thank yous enough? And haven't we now moved on to the next stages of our lives?
I completely get where you're coming from. Just in Fred's defense a little bit, I do believe he's part of an organization that's big on favors and always paying back your favors. So I'm just going to say Fred's probably in the right because I don't want to owe him any.
And then Pitsy, when I got all my shit to go to Brooklyn, I had a beautiful widescreen television. I asked Pitsy's help because he tells everyone, he fucking pretends like he's Bob Vila, you know, the This Old House fucking host. He pretends like he knows what the shit he's doing around the house. So I said, can you help me hang up my TV? He says, fine. He practically hung it up on the ceiling. It was so high on the wall. My worst movie experience was when I was 7 and my mom took us to the Right Stuff and they didn't have any open seats except for the front row. These were before the days, ladies and gentlemen, where you had to buy your movie seat. It just used to be a bunch of animals. Hey, there's the theater. Find a fucking seat, you goddamn savages. No seats for the Right Stuff except for the front row. I literally watched the whole thing like this. That's what it was like watching television in my house. It was front row at Right Stuff, 1983.
A little less Bob Viola, a little more Queer Eye for the Straight Guy from Pitsy there, huh?
I mean, listen, no defense, Pitsy. He was in charge of that project. And I mean, the thing would have strained the fucking minute bull's neck if he was sitting there watching the goddamn thing.
It would probably also scare him because he thought that it was many people in a box. But before we get into too much harping on those two, this is a celebratory episode, right? It's the Super Bowl. And is it safe to say the 2 Super Bowls your team played in, you didn't get to host a party for? Like you weren't there. True. So what would a non-Giants Super Bowl party look like from you? Because you're not as emotionally invested, obviously.
Subs, liquor. That's all you need. And you don't need much more than that, Daddy. Make sure you get 4 or 5 pizzas. And you know what? I'm going to give you a hot take. Okay? I'm going to give you some fucking controversy right off the bat.
Hit it.
Outside of pepperoni, I don't need shit on my pizza.
I'm right there with you.
You know, these fucking people with the pineapple or the bacon or the coconut. You
coconut pizza?
You ain't eating good pizza. If you got to pull all that fucking shit on it. Pizza's simple, man. We need cheese, we need tomato paste, and we need some bread.
Absolutely. I don't even need pepperoni unless if it's from a shitty place like a Little Caesars
deal with
or
the
something.
Pepperoni. I like pepperoni. Like I do enjoy it. But a plain cheese pizza is just fine for the Dave, man.
Doesn't get much better, especially if it's done right.
So usually when I get 4 or 5 pizzas, you're getting at least 3 plains and then maybe 2 half and halves. 2 half plain, half pepperonis.
Yeah, I'm on board with that because that way you can open one box, you can keep the other one hot. I love it. I like where your head's at. Yeah.
Because I could have went with 4 cheeses and 1 full pepperoni, but I went 3 cheeses and 2 half and halves.
Yeah.
Just to fuck with you, Robert.
Not to fuck with me. I think it's brilliant because you only want to open one box at a time. That way you're not getting cold. You're brilliant.
That's right, Robert.
Now, is it more about watching the game for you if your team's not playing, or is it more about a fun experience? Because we're about to learn that different people enjoy different things.
Playing, I'm watching the game, but I'm certainly enjoying the party. That's for sure. Yeah. If the teams, but here's one of the things that I'm going to also say. Another hot take, Davey Mac hot take. First, you heard my pizza hot take. Now you're going to hear what some will describe as a sexist hot take. And that is, ladies, it's fine if you want your guys to help, with certain shit or this or that, bring in the beer, do this, but not in a big situation during the game. A huge third, even if my team's not in it. If it's a fucking tie game and there's a big third down scenario, it's like, can you take out the garbage? Yes, I can. Please take it out. It's a fucking 3rd and 12 with the game on the line. Let me watch the play, and I will gladly take the fucking garbage out during the 15-minute commercial break that we get all the time at the Super Bowl. Okay?
Absolutely.
So, ladies, don't interfere with your man's enjoyment of the game itself. It is a sporting competition that we live for. And men, same thing. If you have one of those butch-ish,
And Andrea from Queens type.
Yeah, if you have one of those, then you leave her alone and let her watch the goddamn game. One of those, folks.
And what we're going to do right now is leave you guys alone and let you listen to the Super Bowl party that was while Dave was not able to attend it back in 2008. We'll be right back.
Or you actually pick her over Casey sometimes. Casey make the food, not your mom.
Casey makes food, yeah.
I'm not eating there anymore with that piss sink, I'll tell you that much.
You going to the Super Bowl?
No.
No one's going to your Super Bowl.
Asshole. There's a big star on 202 who I think is coming.
Aunt?
I'm not going to say. It's private, but it rhymes with Schmanthony.
But Angry Missy and Jeff are going to be there, too. That could be a problem.
I didn't think of the ramifications.
You better. You got to always stay political.
I send a massive text message to everybody.
Yeah.
Or no, Casey invited her people. I invited who I wanted to invite. I didn't realize there was going to be feuds.
You got to think about these things.
It's the Sharks and the Jets at his house.
What's better to, smooth over problems than a nice Super Bowl party, have a couple of cocktails, watch the game?
That's why I don't want to go to your party. I don't want it to be about anything but the game, and I hate to say it, Fez sits there with a notebook and writes down every commercial and what he thinks of it.
What?
I don't know. He's been doing it for fucking, 12 years or something, maybe longer.
Yeah.
As long as I've known him.
Yeah.
And he writes them down, and I let him do it, and he enjoys it. And then he tells me his tops of the day and see if that mixes up with the USA Today the following Monday. So I don't want anybody yelling at him when he's doing that.
He won't. People who are not into the game have to go to the Uno table.
I'm not saying we're just not into the game.
Right.
We watch the game and the commercials, and then I always put a thumbs up or thumbs down for them. This is very serious.
Yeah.
I feel
we
like
don't piss during the game.
You guys are going to be relegated to the bedroom TV. Just you two. You're going to need that much.
Dude, we will not be going there. I watch the fucking game because I enjoy the Super Bowl.
The whole experience.
I love sports. I'm going to watch the game, and I'm going to watch the commercials. I love the commercials. And you get the beautiful adventure of a flat screen television.
Yeah, I don't have one. Why don't we do this? You make it Jeff, Anthony, and you guys discuss, and I'll be watching the game at my house.
Look, I don't know who's feuding with who. This is why I try and stay out of things, but, hopefully by the...
Oh, I'm sorry. Who brought that website into our lives? We were all Mikey Boy. We were 100% Mikey Boy.
You're bored gossip.
And
How
you're
do you
like,
stay
please,
out?
Mr. B, please, I'm begging you, Mr. B. They made me a marshal or whatever.
It's a moderator.
What's the difference? You got to be an idiot to want to be anything like that.
Speaking of my television, Pitts over the vacation helped me set it up, and he promised me, he knows what he's doing. So he hung the television about 10 feet in the air. So you literally have to tilt your head up like you're sitting in the front row of a movie theater. People call it the airport TV.
Well, I told Dave to sit down and see how high he wanted his TV. Now, he has no idea of anything, so he was leaning back on his couch, and the TV was pretty high. I told him it was pretty high, and now it's almost touching the ceiling because Dave doesn't know what he's doing.
Fred, you're on the Ron Fez show.
Let me tell you something. This fucking guy needs a truck. He calls me. He needs a fucking TV hung up on the wall outrageously high. He fucking calls me. But there's a party to be had, and I can't sit and watch that fucking TV, right, Dave?
No, I did. You know what?
Is it a matter of this? Does Casey not like Fred?
No, I think I don't know. I love Fred.
Hey, you know what, Ron? Let me tell you this little fucking TV story. Since I'm not invited anyway. I get the call late at night. Hey, Fred, do you have a drill? All right, I bring a drill. Fucking Pitsy is drilling into the wall with a 1/4-inch wood bit into a brick wall to hang up a 1/2-inch anchor. I immediately
not going to work.
pushed them away.
Physics, my friend.
Everybody, get the fuck out of the way. And Dave, please give me a screwdriver or a plier. Not a fucking screwdriver. Not a plier. Not a
Why didn't you invite him to your party? You put this man through hell.
I come all the way from across fucking Brooklyn with just a drill, and they have nothing else. Zero. So I spend the rest of my night looking for a ratchet set or a wrench or whatever.
Yeah.
And I look back on that night, you know what he offered me?
What?
A fucking cup of water from Piss Sink.
From the Piss Sink?
No.
And then I don't even get a fucking invite to a fucking party to watch this 10-foot high fucking TV.
You're invited.
You're watching
Stop
a billboard.
It. You are invited. I didn't get around to it.
He pissed in that fucking sink.
Let's go. Bobby Pantera invited.
We only have a limited room. Someone is
Let's get Bobby P in.
I'll invite Bobby Pantera as well.
Riley Luck?
No.
Why not?
I don't have that much space. I have to make I need to save space for the stars. The Rons, the Fezes.
The Rons and the Fezes are not coming.
Oh, come on. Mr.
Hughes. Let me tell you this. The Super Bowl is an important thing to me. That's like saying, hey, I want you to come over Christmas morning and be at my house. I can't fucking do shit like this. All right?
Please.
It's important. I'm going to tell you this. I've been to bars on fucking Super Bowl. I don't like it. I don't like hear people yelling out dumb shit. I'm focusing on a fucking game.
Right. We are going to be focused. I promise you this.
There will be so much chatter going on in there, you won't even be able to hear the set, no matter how high it is.
I've extended invitations to Mr. Opie's and Mr. Norton's.
Thank you. I'm trying to say, you're inviting a lot of non-football fans.
No.
Opie, yes.
Opie knows
You
football.
think Jimmy and fucking Anthony are going to be able to follow the game?
I think they know football. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yes. You know what? I'd love to be with those guys if we're going to sit around and riff.
Well, there could be some fun topics being discussed.
That's what I don't want.
So you watch the game.
Football.
You watch the game in silence, Mr.
Total
B.
silence.
That's crazy.
Total silence.
That's not enjoyable. That's not. I find that extremely hard to believe. Fez doesn't say anything. He says nothing during the game.
I'm busy doing my paperwork.
No, Fez is like, what did you think after everything? And I have to even say thumbs up and thumbs down. And then, like, if there is something, we'll debate of why it wasn't good or why it was.
Why can't you just change a tradition? This feels like a lot more pleasant experience than sitting in total quiet.
No, we love it. We fucking love it. You're not a sports fan.
I really am.
You don't enjoy it.
I'm a huge sports fan.
You're the type of guy, you like funny hats. You like celebrity guests.
I do love celebrity guests, no question about it. That's why Mr. Norton's, Mr. Opie's, Mr. Kumi's all got an invitation.
What about the shows of the future? Is the Hideout invited?
Yeah. The Hideout's invited.
Would I be able to say our boys? High Society.
Of course. High Society's invited. Absolutely.
Sam and Than.
Sam, perhaps, but Than...
Hi, you're on the Ron Fez show.
No.
Hey, I just wanted to thank Dave for the invitation.
Wow, that came quick, Sam.
Wow. Fast RSVP.
Now, is your chick going to be going with you?
Well, I don't know. Are you going?
Well, I was saying what the whole invite was.
Well, I mean, I did get a +1.
Yeah. So you're going to bring her?
I guess so.
All right, I'm in.
Sam,
I'm coming.
Okay.
Did you give those invitations to your bosses like I asked?
No, I wanted to make sure you were there when they got them.
Oh, okay. Tomorrow
And
morning I'll do that.
I just wanted to make sure you... I mean, I'm not a big football fan, but everybody loves the Super Bowl, so I can't wait.
See, that's what I fucking hate. I hate that.
He'll be at the Uno table.
Yeah.
There's an Uno table in the hallway for people who aren't football fans.
No, what'll happen is Sam will be in front of me with that afro of his, and I won't be able to see the screen.
It's impossible not to see the screen. It's 15 feet in the air.
The commercials are supposed to be hilarious this year.
Oh, God. See? This is my problem.
Uno table for Sam. And like Pitsy brought up, if you guys want to watch it in my bedroom, more than welcome.
Are CT and Jiven invited?
No. They're not stars in my
Is Lily
eyes.
invited?
I'm waffling on that, but I thought maybe her minus the main squeeze there. She does not get a +1.
If Lily and Jonathan come, I'll come.
Oh boy. I'm going to have to say no to the Lily then.
Okay, then I'm not coming.
I mean, no. Okay, no. If she comes, you'll come.
Yeah,
Well, then-
wait for me.
Okay.
Keep a seat right over near the big screen.
Then she's invited.
All right, Sam, I will see you there.
All right, fantastic.
Hey, we have to have security things set up, too, security badges, so we need a picture of your chick. Send it to us, all right?
Okay.
All right. Something from the summer, maybe Vacation Beach shot.
All right, I guess that's okay.
Yeah, that's perfect. All right,
All
talk
right.
to you later.
Bye.
Bye. I like when he does that cartoon cat voice. Well, gee, I don't know, fellas. Might be coming. I don't know. Why, you wouldn't want me around there, would you?
Are you going to have a smoking section for Ron, or are you going to make him walk down 4 floors?
What,
Absolutely.
you gonna fucking smoke outside like an animal?
No, you smoke in the kitchen.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I do when I drink.
You sit in the kitchen, smoke like someone's
it.
Irish grandmother?
Sit by myself
Flick ashes into the piss
in
sink.
the yellow kitchen.
Those goddamn cops have been driving by all day. Fuck them. They're all on the arm. Smoking all the way fucking down to our fingertips.
Yeah. You guys like subs? There's going to be subs aplenty.
God.
You don't know how to throw a Super Bowl
So
party to
fucking
save your
low
life.
Rent.
What? Subs and
Fez and I have a catered affair
soda?
every year.
Catered?
Yes, not subs and soda, like the fucking volunteer fire department. The whistle
Throw it-
goes off, half the guests have to leave.
Throw in some Clark steaks.
I find that crazy. Catered.
Of course you'd find it crazy. You're a fucking low rent, lace Irish son of a bitch.
I'm getting I'm getting the 6 foot sub. Everyone gets a piece.
A 6 foot sub.
What is 6
What
foot?
is this? Fucking 1982. What about the Ronnie B cupcakes? You know they're working on a couple cupcakes today. Here's the two things come down, and actually some listeners.
So, as you just heard, we learn about some of the backstory behind the Super Bowl party you had. Did it actually come to fruition in any shape, form, or fashion of what you were envisioning?
Did what come to fruition?
The party, because basically you thought Anthony was going to come. Then we were worried about potential guests showing up and their interactions. Let's start with this. Who actually showed up to the party while you were at the studio? Because it seems like the All-Stars kind of came to your place.
Yeah, I guess like the Jeff and Missy, I think were over at that party.
Okay,
Or probably the Soleras and Alkies.
that would make sense. They were.
I think
Right.
Anthony might have gone. Anthony
Okay.
and Melinda at the time.
And then they ended up showing up to the Ron and
Yeah.
Fez show as well after. I
Yeah.
thought they went to a different party, but maybe I
Maybe.
was mistaken.
Yeah.
But so the
I don't know,
first
I wasn't there. That's the point. I mean, I don't know what the fuck happened at the party. I was doing the Ron and Fez show.
Well, we do hear some interactions that Ron's trying to kind of pre-warn you about your Super Bowl party. The first one we hear is Anthony being there with angry Missy and Jeff. What's the backstory there?
Oh, there's always fighting, but there was some kind of issue online. You know how it is.
Oh,
People
okay. It
talk
was like
shit.
it was like an online beef. I just didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, it was like people talk shit. I know Jeff sometimes. I thought he sometimes did some of those card games. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, or if it was just good old fashioned shit talking weirdness. So
Wasn't sure. Is angry Missy Anthony's Missy now? Did that?
no, Angry
different
Missy is
people?
a totally different person.
Okay, I didn't know because that would be very
Oh,
interesting. If it was
God
like
damn
you
it,
better keep them
Robert.
away.
Angry Missy, yes. Well, the Anthony Missy is a blonde lady.
Mm-hmm.
Angry Missy has brunette hair
Okay.
and has the kind of like a Lisa Loeb type of look with the glasses and things.
You don't want a Lisa Loeb look. You want a Lisa Lobo bank shot.
That's fucking Lobo is the fucking basketball player.
I said that. That was a great joke. I even set it up. I said it right and
Why?
everything. That was just a
Why?
good one. No, I just
Yeah, but I don't know if
think
they
you-
have the same name. Oh yeah, because wasn't her name Rebecca Loeb?
yeah, Rebecca. But you said Lisa, and I just played it together. Man, we are a comedic duo.
Anyway,
So back to that. I just thank you for clarifying that. I'm sure I'm not the only person who hears that and wonders, especially if you've seen any of Missy's tweets as of late. She is very angry. But okay, so that's that interaction. The other one we hear about is the classic Dave and Casey versus Lily and her boyfriend at the time,
Oh, Jonathan, yeah.
Jonathan. And
Yeah,
it's
that
kind of
was-
basically Dave versus Jonathan, but that's just normal awkwardness. Now,
No, it became a whole fucking issue, and I just wanted to be laid out. I wanted nothing to do with it.
yeah,
I
you just wanted to do radio.
So Casey used to go out with Jonathan or
Mhm.
something. Friends, but it felt like, it was more than friends or something. They, were something. And then they stayed in touch.
It's never good.
Oh, it's never good.
Mm-mm.
And then there's Lily, who then, of all the people, she has to hook up with Jonathan.
Yeah, I'm sure that had nothing to do with wanting like
And
attention.
then, everything was a fucking mess. I mean, I just wanted to be out of it.
And
But then Lily and Casey were fighting sometimes like right before or during the Ron and Fez show.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like be a producer. And we had to have a talking to one time from Ron. He had to sit down me and Lily and be like, you guys can't have this fucking drama shit, man, when we're trying to do a show. I'm going to be honest. I kept my mouth shut. He was primarily talking to Lily
Yeah.
because she was calling my fucking, at the time, wife. He's like, stay out of my fucking relationship with Jonathan. I'm like, okay, first of all, Lily, like she's known this guy for 20 years, whether they were fuck buddies, boyfriend and girlfriend, or what. They have clearly a Harry met Sally relationship. It's like, come on, man. Then people are going to talk. You tell you fucking stay the fuck out of my goddamn. I'm like, oh my God. I just want to. And then I got to have on this phone, I got Casey calling up. Why the fuck is Lily calling me? How come Lily called me? Why are you calling me? How come everybody's calling me? Leave me alone. Why? And I'm like, oh my God. I have nothing to do with this. I don't want anything to do with this. Can you people stop just fucking calling each other? So while we had a talking to from Ron, it was primarily directed at Lily. There was one time where the Dave man kept his mouth shut because I can feel when I'm in trouble, but you can also feel when you're not in trouble. And I'm like, you know what? He's fucking pissed at her. Because, I mean, I'm in the studio with Ron.
Absolutely.
So how he's not going to get pissed at me. But while we're fucking doing a show, we hear screaming out of the outside the studio. It was Lily and my wife.
Jesus. We've heard episodes where you were just getting blown up by text while Lily's yelling at you
All
in the studio.
the time, dude. I got blown up with texts and shit all the fucking time. Tell that bitch to keep my name out of her mouth. And this and that and all this fucking shit from everyone. I'm not even putting it on one person.
No.
But, the thing about being the board gossip man is that then, because I have access to all the peoples, you see.
Mhm.
But it's a two-way street, that phone. That's the thing that Dave Man wasn't counting on. Telephones are a two-way device.
That's
and so
the
all my
downfall of
board gossip
Bell's invention.
spies were the first ones to come with all the board gossip spies were the first ones to be like, what the fuck is going on? You tell this person and that person. And then, are they reaching out to you? Will you tell them to go fuck off? This would be happening on the air. This is why Chris Pepper Stanley distances himself from the fans. He told me one time he hates the listeners.
Well, that seems like a specific thing.
I think it was said in a moment of frustration. I'm not
Mhm.
trying to throw anyone under the bus, but I think it was said in a moment of frustration. But there is a separation there. I mean, I'm not critical of it because he doesn't get the fucking crazy ass text and drama.
No, I get it. And sometimes when I hear horror stories like that, I get why you go, Rob, find yourself a nice girl who knows nothing about this world.
Yeah. My advice to Robert, he's always trying to, folks, if you don't know, hold on, Robert, I'm going to close the blind.
Let's close the blind. We can change subjects.
But if you,
no, we don't have.
no, I want to, he doesn't want us to talk about that subject.
I mean, we could talk about whatever you want. Close the blinds real quick if you want to do that.
I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to throw you under the bus.
I know you are.
I'm telling you, this is a fun. This is a very fun Super Bowl.
See, it doesn't
special,
feel
baby.
fun when you say things like, I'm going to throw you under the
Fun to
bus.
me. It feels fun to me. So Robert always. All right, ready, people? Just
No,
listen.
dude.
Just. I'll say it quietly. He likes comedians, female comedians. I always
Sometimes.
tell him, don't date the female comedians, sir. They will drive you fucking crazy. Have yourself not a female comedian, right? Don't pursue this relationship. Go with someone outside the business who simply loves comedy. That is where the performer will have a happy relationship. Because then you're always going to be in competition. You're always going to be hating her. She's always going to be hating you. Now I'll close the blind.
Yeah, I mean, that seems fair too. Sometimes you just find psychos no matter where you're going, though. It doesn't matter if they're fans or not. This is a bit tangential. You want to hear a funny story real quick?
Yes.
So I was at Dead Crow. I had a great set Friday night, the late show. As I come back downstairs, I was in the green room for the end of Aaron's set, and a woman comes up and she is smoking. And she's all over me. She's like, "Oh my God, you're so funny. You're hilarious. Like, that was amazing. You're the best I've ever seen." I'm like, yes. She goes to the bathroom, comes back in, and then she is so drunk, she's singing along to Aaron's set. And I was just like, oh, none of that matters. She was blacked out. She did not even see your set.
But do you know that for a fact? That
Yes, I do. Oh, yes, I do.
All right, fair enough.
She sang along to the set because he was talking about songs, and like she sang the drunk parts. It was amazing. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the Super Bowl. So
Yes,
it seems like in terms of the Super Bowl with those beefs, Ron and Fez almost did you a favor by having the show live where you could just sit and watch and actually enjoy the game and not have to deal with any of the intrapersonal bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get into, believe it or not, I'm not as much of a beef guy as people would think, you know?
But unfortunately, when your wife at the time is, now you're in regardless because you're.
Yeah, but I mean, if people would have issues and they would be at my house for a party, you just hand them beers and let's go squash this shit. Yeah. I don't care if you have to squash it via an air hockey game, which I had in the garage, aka the smoke zone. I don't care if we have to squash it, Guitar Hero or Mario Kart, but we're going to have some sort of competition to squash it. Okay, you guys call everything under the sun during the competition if you want. Get it all out, and then let's have some fun.
I'm right there with you.
Okay.
Now, this one was actually you having the garage with the smoke zone, because one of the first things that comes up about you hosting this Super Bowl party.
This was Brooklyn, yeah.
This was Brooklyn because this was 2008.
Correct.
This was. You had just moved there, and we'll find out.
Yeah, the thing that we're just talking about with the Ron Fez audio, yes, that was the Brooklyn apartment because because of Pitsy saying he hung up so complaining about the TV being hung high.
Let's get into that right now. So the first thing we talked about before we even played the audio was that when you moved, Pitsy showed up with what he called an SUV, which looks like it was about the size of my Buick Encore, and then you had to call Fred from Brooklyn for a van.
Yes.
Then
Pitsy said that he would help me move,
mm-hmm.
and his fucking minivan could hold 4 boxes. We would have been moving. We'd still be moving shit from Queens to Brooklyn right now in 2025. It would have taken us fucking goddamn 75 trips. It was crazy. It was like, no, Pitsy, why don't we just get a huge fucking vehicle where we can load all this shit in rather than taking
one trip
upon trip.
Yeah, each trip itself is at least a half hour.
And he came with a tool belt. He was wearing a little tool belt. So he presented himself as Mr., I'm the guy. I'm the household guy. I'm Norm Abrams. Another This Old House reference. But the point is, he presented himself like that, and he just wasn't. He's some fucking goddamn Ginzo from Long Island.
No, and so he shows up to the move with a tool belt. But then shortly after you move in, you get a nice flat screen TV, and he goes, "Oh, I can mount that for you," and then shows up without tools to mount it. And for the second time in a brief stint, You have now moved into this apartment and have to call Fred from Brooklyn to bail you out for the second time. How many times? Here's the question: how many times did Pitsy fuck you over and you had to call Fred from Brooklyn for help?
Horrible. He was horrible. I've told my Pearl Jam story.
I noticed you didn't call Fred for that one. Was it because you thought Fred would side with Pitsy and be like, "Yeah, there are a lot around here, Pitts, you're right"?
No, I thought Pitsy knew what he was doing. I thought Pitsy knew how to put the goddamn television up, but he didn't. He couldn't even get the fucking nail in the wall. And then it comes to find out, Fred says, we were all using the wrong shit anyway. We needed to use a fucking screwdriver rather than a drill. But
the reason Fred had to clean out his vans in the first story is because he's a brick mason, which applies to the second story because he did that for you.
The bottom line is you have a moron from New Jersey and me and a moron from Long Island and Pitsy. Two guys who got kicked out of Madison Square Garden 3 songs into a Pearl Jam concert because one of us, Pitsy, had to light up a cigarette. And then when the officer told him to put it out, Pitsy may have used a derogatory term for said police officer, and that got us immediately kicked out of the garden. So this is the same Pitsy and Davey Mack. We don't know what the fuck to do. We don't know anything. We're lucky. We're still breathing, and it's only a matter of time before that ends. So we were totally at a loss. He's trying to hammer a goddamn nail into a fucking wall with one of these old school Brooklyn apartments that apparently it's just impossible. We needed a goddamn fucking screw, not a nail. So Pitsy just killed me here. He just killed me. I'm sorry, Pitsy. You know I love you. Anthony Pizzatola, you know I love you.
And you've got your wife at the time sitting there being like, can you get this done? Like, I'm sure that adds to the stress of the situation. Like, if it's you and Pitsy doing it alone, you're kind of having a good time. You're laughing, you know what I mean? But there's added stress of trying to be a man in front of your woman and, you know, all that stuff. So we've all been there. Sometimes you're building a dresser and they're like, it shouldn't take 2 hours to build a dresser. I'll call my dad and tell him there's some guy it's taking him this long. I'm like, please do. I could use the fucking help. This is a really hard dresser to build. You know, we've all been there. But that's not what we're here to talk about.
I'm good at carrying things, and I'll carry the hell out of shit. But as far as like putting stuff up, connecting things, doing all the more nuanced things, no, count me out. You don't want me a part of that. Now, you want me to fucking carry the goddamn dresser Robert's talking about? I'll carry the dress. I'll carry a table. I'll carry chairs. I'll be Mr. Carry-All. And trust me, man, good old-fashioned brute force never hurt anybody. But don't ask me to fucking hook up the television. No. Me trying to hook up the TV, I might blow up your whole fucking house.
Me with my beard looked like
that's how serious.
I said with my beard, I look like I'd intentionally blow up your house.
Yeah. Well, you got a terrorist look.
That or a trans man's beard, I've heard. I don't know if you checked the YouTube comments lately.
That's sad.
But so we learn about that. Ron and Fez are not going to your party. Ron's biggest concern is twofold. One, he just wants to watch the game in silence. He does not want to have any discussion while the game's going on, and he feels you've invited a lot of non-football fans.
Well, we did mention this last episode, but just to say it again real quick. If you don't like sports, you're still allowed to go to a Super Bowl party. Just don't do the hacky shit where you're acting like an idiot on purpose. Like it's a Super Bowl. Like fucking Mahomes hits Travis Kelce. Don't go like home run, yay! And everyone's like, oh, that's baseball. You silly goose. Like, I hate that gimmick. I hate when people do that. They're like, I don't even understand the rules. Then why the fuck are you here watching the game? If you don't like sports, that's fine. Have the beer. Enjoy yourself. Talk to the people. Enjoy the commercials. But don't ask questions. Don't be one of the, and don't don't perform. Oh, is that a slam dunk? When you're clearly watching a football game, you can only dunk a basketball.
Exactly.
Okay, we're none of us are charmed by your sports naivete. You see, they want to present themselves as cute or adorable because I don't know how sports ball works. Fuck off. Yes, you do, you fucking liar. Shut your mouth. And I will be honest, Ron was right that there was 2 or 3 of those type of folks.
Sheepy.
And that drives me.
Sheepy. What? Sorry, I had a cough there.
Yeah. And it's annoying as fuck. It's never funny to me. And it's just you're presenting yourself. Why?
Yeah.
You need attention that badly that you have to pretend. And it's just pretending that you don't know how fucking football works.
No, absolutely. And I'm curious how you feel. I do find some of the naivety cute when they get into the game. When they know which team they're supposed to root for, they get into it. They're not asking questions, but when their side's celebrating, they celebrate. Like, have fun, be a part of it. I get it if you don't get the game, but just enjoy the element itself.
Yes. I mean, sports is fun. It's exciting. You can't script it, regardless of what the Chiefs haters say. And there's so many out there. And we're going to be hearing from so many douchebags on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
Rigged. NFL's rigged. It's so lame. Do you know the insane scope of that scandal? It would be impossible to pull off if you were going to rig the NFL and make it like WWE wrestling. Like it would require so many dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of people. Someone's going to leak out that information. It's so silly. Stop saying it. Just because Mahomes gets calls, all superstars get calls.
You know what we used to say?
Again, it's like people just fucking arrived on the planet like 3 years ago. We as a society have no memory whatsoever. Brady got calls, folks. Michael Jordan got calls. Great pitchers like Roger Clemens and Greg Maddux get the calls. Usually great hitters get the calls. 3 balls, 2 strikes, right at the knees. A great hitter usually gets ball 4.
Yeah.
Great players and superstars get the calls. It's always been like
Absolutely.
that.
And you know what we used to say? Sports is magical. Like, when you think about it, sure, does it seem crazy that this team of misfits is going for their three-peat versus the guy who wasn't valued by his team? He was going to burn out, now an MVP candidate against him. Yeah, that does seem like the ideal script for the NFL. But that's what we used to say, sports is magical. Like, those are the stories people used to tune in for. And had it been the Rams.
And any goddamn Super Bowl matchup is going to have a fucking story, folks. If the Bills had beaten the Chiefs, it'd be all about can the great city of Buffalo and those wonderful people who have suffered getting 4 straight Super Bowls in the 90s, can they finally win? You can find a great story anyway.
The Lions,
Detroit
Rams.
Lions, can they come on, ladies and gentlemen. The NFL doesn't need the Chiefs or Mahomes. They'll be able to put out a very successful product no matter who's playing.
Couldn't agree with you more. We're going to do one last question because we put out an amazing product and we also showcased an amazing product in the old Ron and Fez audio. But one question before we play that. What was the piss sink?
Well, the piss sink, Robert, was if I was too drunk and didn't want to go to the bathroom, I'd go to the sink and piss. And that was located in the kitchen. I understand. This was a reason, a red flag for some people, and a reason why some folks did not want to come to the party. I said, are you going to be drinking water? Because if you're not going to be drinking water, what the fuck do you care where I piss?
I would love to mock you for pissing in a sink.
Goddamn.
But I can't because
A sink is the same thing as a toilet. It's the same premise. It's a drain. All water goes to the ocean. We learned this in Finding Nemo.
And I would love to mock you for that, but I've also pissed in a sink. I remember one time in college I did it, and a girl walked in on me and just called me a piss sinker for a while. I was like, yeah, it's a urinal. It's like it probably works better than the urinals in this house. They don't work for shit. The sink, I know drains.
Just don't use the sink if you're that skeeved out by it. By the way, it's not like I never washed the sink. I washed the sink. I put Comet in the sink.
If you feel bad, pour some bleach in there. It'll clean it right out. On that note, we're going to play some very clean, very beautiful Ron and Fez audio, and we'll be right back.
It's a brand new game show we're playing today called Where in the Super Bowl is David McDonald? Now, Sports Illustrated put out this little piece about how to find people. If you go over to the iBang, you'll have the opportunities. Now, Pepper, have you seen this yet? No, I have not. All right, you got to turn his mic on. Go ahead now, try, Pep.
No, I have not.
There you go.
No,
guess what we are today? Radio show.
No, I have not.
What?
So, here we go. Go now. Stop. You got to make it fun. Go to the top first picture.
At the top. All right.
So there you go. This is, and let's bring the music down so we're human beings. And this is up on the ibang.com. There is the shot from the Super Bowl. You can see the entire thing. I guess this is one of those 360 cameras, but I still don't know how it works because you can go forward with it.
Yeah, I think it's like a super fucking HD panoramic fucking view camera.
But why do you get to zoom in and out and turn? I don't get the fucking science of this.
It's crazy.
All right, so we've got a link up because, quite frankly, we should be able to find a lot of celebrities with this thing.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right, so there's the first picture. And by the way, we got this from a listener who took the time to do this. Now, there's the first picture. We're never going to find him. Let's go down to picture number 2.
Huge amount of people.
Well, that's still pretty crazy, Chris.
So condensed.
It's 80,000 faces out there. All right, we'll go to the next one.
Okay. No, this thing's getting really fucking zoomed in, and it's crystal clear. Jesus.
Yeah, we're getting closer and closer in our quest to find where in the Super Bowl is David McDonald. Now, the beauty of it is, on that picture that you have, I can already see him, but move in for the close-up. Here is fucking Eastside Dave. I guarantee not awake at the Super Bowl. Now, now, the beauty of this is, there's no way that he would be able to know that the pictures be taken to do a funny little shot for everybody.
No.
So here he is, pass the fuck out. Was it only for that moment? Was it for 2 or 3 quarters? We'll never know. But in this moment of time, and with fantastic fucking tickets.
Jesus Christ, yeah. This is fucking nuts.
Dave has passed the fuck out there. I'll go over on the iBang. It's in one of the boxes.
Oh, my God.
On where in the Super Bowl is Dave McDonald.
This is awesome.
It is the best picture. I hope to get one of these of him passed out at Guns N' Roses at Roseland this week. Tom, you're on the Ron Fez show.
Hey, Ron. The way I believe this thing works, my brother had a similar thing at a U2 concert. So it requires really expensive equipment. But they have all these different cameras synced up with a computer. It travels around on a mobile thing. Takes different shots, and then the computer stitches them all together later on.
All right, so this was not just the one picture taken. This was a bunch of pictures all pulled together.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like the Google Earth thing, where they shoot multiple cameras as they drive down a street.
I've seen the car go down New York. I still don't understand how they do it.
I don't know. It's just
or why they do it.
The thing pops out of the top. I seen it in my neighborhood, too.
But I have found the house that I lived in. When I was the house I was born in.
That's great.
Same concept there, multiple cameras, and then they stitch the thing together.
So I can't imagine anybody beating this for Gold Star of the Day, and we've never done it this early. But it's got to be Brian from Brooklyn winning the Gold Star, and that's Brooklyn representing 2 days in a row.
BK all day.
And obviously, throughout the show, I'm going to be checking on the comment section here because it's just too goddamn funny.
This is amazing. This is the best shit ever.
Now, I cannot believe, though, that he's not awake for the Super Bowl. Now, what am I saying? Of course I believe it.
A lot of drinking.
But still, it's the Super Bowl.
I know.
And the thing is, he was all excited and didn't sleep the night before.
Oh, he was totally jacked up.
Now, the beauty of it is he will always believe that he saw the Super Bowl.
In his mind, sure, yeah. It was the best fucking Super Bowl ever.
It really was a great Super Bowl, except for Zeitz. Now, Zeitz, I sent you the thing last night. And what I was going to do, somebody sent me this little contraption from Sports Illustrated. I said, the Zeitz, I go, all right, tomorrow we'll find out where Dave's pick is and we'll put together a contest. A listener did it on their own, Brian from Brooklyn.
God damn.
But then I said, Zito, find you know where you were sitting, because the entire Super Bowl was here. Zito, where are you?
I'm in the one area they took the photo from.
Bullshit.
I was in section 635.
Bullshit.
Which is up to the left. And
I don't believe now that you were even at the Super Bowl. Look how we can see everything
Jesus
there is.
Christ.
And the strange thing is, I met up with our old intern B-Dog at the beginning of the third quarter, and I thought maybe
who's B-Dog?
B-Dog was here last semester.
He was the other
pipe band?
No, that's
B.
B-Kills.
B-Dog had dead parents. Maybe that'll ring.
No. Nothing.
Long Island.
But did he take classes at UCB?
No, he did not.
Because then I know who he is.
But I thought the picture was taken at that point in the third quarter where you would have been able to see me, but because I was down at the other end zone. But no, I'm not in the photo. I'm the only person in the stadium not there.
All right, let me just read some of the comments coming in. Drunk fuck. Oh, come on. This is literally the greatest thing ever. He's like a little boy who gets so worked up to go to Disneyland and has to be carried around all day. Nap time, dogs. Then something I don't like. Then Jesus Christ, Waldo's really let himself go. Eastside Dave is my hero. I want to be just like him. That's our boy, just like Christmas. Thanks, guys. The guy behind him seems to be watching him laughing and clapping his ear. Let's take a look at the guy behind him. You got to probably go back. Yeah, I can't see any of that.
I guess. Yeah. I see a guy with some nachos.
Damn. Dave should have been. Puby McPherson.
Is that like Craig Carton walking down next to Dave in that photo right above him?
See, that's the thing. We are going to be able to find just about anyone now. And by the way, there's no way for you to see this, but in the local show, Zeitz, before the Super Bowl, Carton picked the Pats. And I'm like, I know heel radio, Craig. Oh my God. I know you're like, hey, I'm sorry to don't everybody, but it's going to be the Patriots. Lock it in, count on it. You know, and every other talking head, I mean, we brought in these. Everybody's got the Giants. G-Men taking it 44-3.
Deja blue.
And then you get the guy, no way it's going to happen, bro. He's just resting his eyes. That's how he does it. Is that Fez's older brother? Davey Mack tired of after all that Tom Brady fucking he was doing. He's not sleeping. He's just coming from fucking Tom Brady. Drunk or asleep. Where's Zito? My guess is at the glory hole in the restroom. 37-minute photo and his eyes are closed. Looks like Jesse Jackson just fucked the shit out of Eastside Dave. And then, damn, he looks drunk. Davey Mack, seriously, in my opinion, became the hero of the Super Bowl.
God, yes.
Everything about his Super Bowl trip was bigger than life. Bigger than life.
He blew it up.
Very, very funny. Very, very happy for him. And let's face it. Would you want to see him any other way? I mean, this is better than if he had a balloon and was eating a corn dog.
Jumping back in, and we just jumped ahead in time as we listened to the Ron and Fez audio, because as we discussed, the two most important Super Bowls to you were 2008 and 2012 so far.
Yes.
We're hoping for a turnaround where the Giants get there sometime in the next decade.
Well, I mean,
I don't foresee it.
86/87 was their first, and then 1990/91 was their second. That was an amazing game. The second one was Giants-Bills, where it was 2019. Scott Norwood wide right misses the goddamn field goal, and that's it. The Giants win. But these two with Eli were just amazing. And it wasn't just the Super Bowls either. The run with Eli filled with incredible games, especially NFC Championship games.
Oh, absolutely.
Where these were incredible games. One close game after another, the Giants kept winning. It was fantastic. I don't know what happened to this franchise. I really don't.
I think you said Joe Shane, but
Joe Shane and John Mara.
Let's focus on happier times. 2012. Yeah. You got to go to Indianapolis for the Super Bowl. How did that happen?
A listener, a fan of the Dave Man.
Wow.
Aaron is his name. I believe he's passed on.
Oh, rest in peace, Aaron.
Or not, I believe. I know he's passed on.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, little comedian with your little fucking jokes. Why don't you say a few funny little words about Aaron now that you know that he's dead?
At least he doesn't live in Indianapolis anymore.
Oh, Jesus Christ, folks. Can you believe he said that? Poor guy. He liked to drink, and
you don't say.
We got out of a game. So anyway, he goes, well, I'll get to that story in a second. He emails me out of the blue. So I'm a huge Davey Mack fan. I love you. I love you on Ron Fez, but he was also a big Davey Mack sports program fan. And he goes, I can't get enough of Davey Mack's sports program. I think it's fantastic, and I think you should be at the Super Bowl. Like, how come Sirius XM? Because, by the way, while I was doing – so this is the period of my life where I was doing Davey Mack Sports Program podcast, but also Davey Mack Sports Program XL on Saturday nights on Sirius XM.
Which is amazing, and you should have had some pull with Sirius.
Well, I asked them. And they because they were already sending like Mark Zito, who is just one of these people. There's nothing wrong with the guy. He's perfectly pleasant, but he's just shallow. There's nothing there. There's nothing entertaining there. There's nothing creative. He was always going to be a suit. I'm sure he's a suit right now at Sirius XM. I'm sure he is. But anyway, they send Zito there. And then no fucking Dave Man. I'm like, what the fuck, guys? We have a very popular sports show on the Opie and Anthony channel on Saturday nights. It's the perfect time. Can we please go? Anytime I asked him for anything, it was always like, you're crazy. You're crazy, Dave. See, you're the crazy Dave guy. I'm like, hey guys, you know that I perform like that on the air.
Mm-hmm.
But that the real man, like, graduated college, has a bachelor's degree, like, understands how to talk, has a little bit of an intellect. Like, I know how to turn it on and be fucking insane on the air. But then at the same time, I am an organized individual who will prepare and do the right thing for a radio show. What did they think I was going to do? Fucking, light Radio Row on fire?
Yeah. What do they think you were going to do? Attack the Reverend Jesse Jackson?
I don't understand. What does that mean?
Do you not remember that was the first celebrity we're going to hear you assaulted later on?
That's right. Yeah.
We'll get into that in a second. Right now, we're talking about this was the Find Eastside Dave. So just in case the audience had a little context.
So anyway, Aaron, by the way, God bless Aaron. He said, Davey Mack, you got to be at the fucking thing. And it's embarrassing. His words, not mine. Embarrassing that SiriusXM won't send their best sports host. So he said, here's the deal. I work with Budweiser. I'm going to get you a flight first class. I'm going to get you a hotel. I'm going to get you 20. I can get you on the 50-yard line, 20th row, 20th. For the Super Bowl, 50-yard line, 20th row. I mean, it was fucking amazing. First of all, it was the first time, and maybe the only time I've ever flown first class. So I go to the goddamn airport Friday morning. I'm going to spend the whole weekend there. I go to Newark Airport Friday morning to get on the flight to Indianapolis. I get in first class. The lady goes, "What would you like to drink?" I go, "Could I have a screwdriver?" Thinking she wouldn't serve it to me because it's 9 o'clock in the morning. She was just A-okay. She was like, absolutely, I'll give you a screwdriver. Sir, certainly, sir. I'm like, oh my God, first class is the best. She gives me the screwdriver. I go to give her $5 and she turns it down. She says, "Oh, no. We don't do tips on here." And I heard snickering from other people in first class. Apparently, I was a low rent goddamn piece of shit for simply trying to reward the nice stewardess with $5. All the other rich people, I guess they never tip on first class.
Which is funny because Anthony says that's how he gets the best service, is he slides the guy $20 whenever he flies first class.
20?
Just
maybe that's why they were snickering. Maybe it was the $5 that had him snickering.
For me, it's the thought that counts.
It was
that's
clearly
why I
a
belong in
$5 bill.
business.
I mean, it was clearly a $5 bill. You can't miss Abraham Lincoln's gigantic nose. So maybe that's why they were laughing at me. They thought I was a cheapskate.
But you get to the game, and there's a lot of hype riding on this. People are excited about it. Much like your fan said, you deserve to be there, and it was a shame that prior to this you didn't have a plan. And we learned that this is one of the first times the NFL did it. They have a 360-degree photo that was taken. So you can zoom in and find anybody.
Yeah, but I mean, you're discounting Friday and Saturday. I mean, what I'm saying is this was the greatest experience of my life because I had never done any of this. First of all, I've never been to middle of America. I've never been to Chicago. I've never been to Cleveland. Never been to Cincinnati. I've never been to any of those places. So I was like, okay, I'm going to the middle of America for the first time in my life. Number A. Hold on, Robert. B.
Before we're going to get into this with a lot of the Berman call. This is just about where you were at the game. So we didn't. I know.
But I'm trying to go through this because it's important. Because you have to. This is relevant to this story. Just let the fucking master do his thing. I can always see when Robert has something to say, and it's always when I'm fucking talking on a roll. You have this amazing ability to not understand when the Dave man is fucking feeling it.
Keep feeling it, buddy.
It's uncanny sometimes. The reason why this is important and relevant, Robert, is because I was drinking fucking screwdrivers on the plane at Friday morning because I was in first class. I get to the fucking game, and there's fucking Aaron, and he's as drunk as I am. He gets out of the cab and falls and rolls across the street. We were basically like Hunter S. Thompson and his fucking, his attorney on Friday and Saturday. I've never been so liquored up. Super Bowl weekend was just a blitz of booze. I'm not sure I ate anything. Point being, by the time we were fucking at the stadium on Super Bowl Sunday, okay, I was feeling like there were times where I needed to rest my eyes. I never slept, nor did I pass out. But there were a couple times where I just kind of looked at the ground.
We've all been there.
Well, that goes to this story because, yes, there was a 360-degree, it's all the brand new fucking Matrix technology and the fucking cameras, and it could get every goddamn seat in the building. And so Ron and Fez had a little kind of unofficial contest wherein the Super Bowl is Eastside Dave. And so they gave people the link to this camera and asked me and tried to, it had people try to find me. What's amazing is that's 80,000 people or close to it. The Indianapolis isn't as big as MetLife, but I think it's like 67 to 70,000. But you're having to go through 67 to 70,000 people, and they found me. Mm-hmm. And when they found me, I was accused of being asleep. Now, was I asleep? Hell to the no. Was I passed out? Hell to the no. Was I looking at the ground and resting my eyes at that precise moment? That is what I was doing. Yes,
Absolutely. And no one can judge you for that, Dave.
but they all accused me of being passed out at the Super Bowl.
Which it almost felt like you did on purpose because it was such a good bit by Ron and Fez. To hype it up the whole time. Here's the superstar Giants fan. You all heard him 4 years ago. I bet he's going to be even more excited in person. And I think one caller summed it up best when he went, it's like a kid who was too excited for Disney World. That you just see him there passed out being carried around by his parents. And I know you weren't actually passed out, but just like it is a very funny reveal that to the point where as a listener, I almost thought you worked it.
I was resting my eyes. I maintained on that call too to Ron that I believed I was looking at the ground when this photo. Also, keep in mind, we were 20th row, but you are a little bit elevated. So your eyes are going to actually go down. So if the camera is above and your eyes are like looking down that way, it looks like you're asleep, but it's not. It's that your face is tilted that way and the shot's from above. Regardless, I was awake for the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Okay. Needs to be. Well, I was awake for the shit that we'll talk about later on.
I believe it. The second thing I'll say, though, is that's the obvious controversy solved. We've got one kind of hypothetical because, as you said, Zito was there. And when they're searching for you, they ask Zito, they're like, what section were you in and where can we find you? And he goes, oh, I was in the section they took the picture from.
Bullshit.
Which makes me think Zito got flown to Indianapolis.
He
probably didn't go to the fucking game.
He didn't go to the game. That is it. He fucking lied. Straight up. Straight the fuck up. He probably got too hammered. Everyone who went there partied. Obviously, you're going to party all weekend long, but I was never going to miss that game. I don't care what the hell happened. That to me sounds like he partied and didn't have the fucking chutzpah to show up for the game. Sorry, Mark Zito. That's an L in my book, Daddy.
And in my book, Daddy. And we're going to let you actually hear, because I think you may have realized this during the Super Bowl. We're going to let the audience listen, and we'll be right back after this Ron and Fez audio.
Super Bowl MVP,
Holy shit.
ready to go.
What?
It's Davey Mack, Dave McDonald.
We got him! Oh, Ronnie B.
Yes.
I swear to God, this is the best. Last night was the best day of my life. It was the best single day of my life, and I say this with due respect to the fact that I have 2 children and a wife. Last night was the best day, the most exhilarating day of my entire life. I tried to sleep. I could not sleep last night. And I'm supposed to be boarding a plane right now.
No, stay.
Never leave.
Never leave the best place of your whole life.
No, I'm not. Honestly, this is the best fucking city in the world. Fuck Paris and London and all these other bullshits. Indianapolis is New York City times 2. I mean, part 2.
Part 2. Davey Mack, we worried about you because you stopped tweeting so early. I'm like, oh, please don't let him be asleep.
Locked up.
Please don't let him be in jail.
This is what happened. So, at like the second quarter, everyone's making a big fuss, and they're going, oh my God, look at this. Who's this guy? And they go, oh, it's him. It's like a big celebrity. And I could see it was like this, handsome, older black guy. And I go, oh my God, it is him. So I went up and I put my arm around him to take a photograph. And I go, like, Lando Calrissian, because I thought it was Billy D. Williams. Well, as soon as I touched the guy, 8 security guys tackled me. It was fucking Jesse Jackson.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
So all these security guys, they hit me. My phone instantly died. And I thought, yeah, that's it for me. I'm done.
Oh, yeah, you should be done.
No, I somehow was able to talk my way out of it. I'm like, I don't know where I'm from. I'm from New Jersey. I have a brain problem.
All true.
I know. So, Jesse Jackson, and by the way, I heard you talking about the Berman picture. That was taken by me. I did the same thing with Jesse Jackson. I grabbed him by the neck, with one arm, and the other arm I take the photo. He's like, get the fuck off me. He literally said, get the fuck off me. I go, what's the way to speak, Swami? And he was all pissed off and stuff.
That is so funny.
The third celebrity sighting, actually there was 4, but the other one, I saw him a little bit, but I think it was just like a little guy. But everyone was swearing that Woody Allen was in the house. And I did see like a little guy.
No, he's not going to go there, seriously. He doesn't even go to the Oscars.
I did think it was a little bit weird, but people were swearing that it was Woody Allen. And then the last one was that one fucking guy from AO, whatever the band's name is.
Yeah, they're all good.
Yeah, the guy with the glasses.
I'm going to tell you now, Dave, every little Jew from New York looked like Woody Allen to those Midwestern people. Now,
so true.
You do got to get on the plane because the parade is tomorrow. They're doing it really quick. Yeah. Are you going to make the parade, Dave?
Yes. That's what we did, when you and thank you again for, I'm like so buzzed, just from the Super Bowl, not from blues or anything.
Right.
Sure. For the I hear the doubts, but from the last thing, I was me and Pitsy, so he instantly texted me, I'll see you at the parade tomorrow. I'm going to take my kids, I'm thinking. I'm going to load the kids into the minivan and go, you're seeing a fucking Giants parade, you sons of bitches.
Here's the other thing that I'm willing to do, and I only do this every 4 years, so it doesn't go down that way. Chris Stanley is off for the parade tomorrow, where he will have a day of drinking and partying.
Get fucked up!
Yeah, and hopefully videotaping and taking some pictures.
Get liquored up.
So, Davey Mack, it's phenomenal that it worked out. What is your buddy's name who gave you these tickets?
Aaron. Aaron was my pal. We also met up with Jeffrey Danger, the guitarist from the Puertos.
Did you meet up with Harvey Danger at all?
So we were in this. Jeffrey Danger was in the house. Jason Ruffian, our keyboardist, couldn't make it, but he was with us in spirit. I mean, he's still alive.
Yeah.
But I shouldn't say it like that. Yeah, I mean, he's not dead or anything. So, and we just had, it was such a great time. And even on Saturday, I got in, and I walked on Washington Street, which they tell me is the road that they filmed the parade on Christmas Story. So it's like Christmas Story is one of my all-time favorite movies. I got to walk the Christmas Story parade and then see the Giants fuck the shit out of Tom Brady again.
It was amazing. It was amazing. By the way, we've already put up video on the iBang of Giselle running down the receivers, and I'm sure people are going to be pissed, but she's fucking right. She's right.
What the fuck, Wes Welker?
Wes Welker killed that team. And the other thing is, the Super Bowl is the weirdest experience. I've never been to one before. But, you're sitting next to Patriots fans, next to Giants fans. It was the weirdest thing. So I kept getting in trouble. The Patriots fans were these big bruisers from Boston and stuff. But I kept getting in trouble because, the Robin Williams movie? But I kept saying, Robin Williams is going to play Tom Brady in Happy Feet, Part 2.
That's
and
brilliant.
They didn't like it.
That seriously is a brilliant put down. I'm so proud of you.
They hated it.
Could you imagine, though? I mean, this... Davey Mack gets the big viral video. Finally, he's recognized as a rapper. You beat so many of the pundits by predicting this thing early on. Your sports show is taking off. Berman even passes you the torch. Jesse Jackson, the man who was there when Martin Luther King was murdered, sees his own life flash before his eyes as Davey Mack accosts him. This is phenomenal. It's so your week.
I can't believe it. And Ronnie, listen to this shit. Are you ready for this? So then tomorrow, we're going to the parade. Friday, I got tickets to see Guns N' Roses at Roseland. At Roseland, a club. I get to see Axl and Co. dominate in a fucking theater, and with the combined with the Giants, especially with the Giants. I didn't cry the first Super Bowl. I think I was like everyone. We were in shock. But this one, I was tearing up.
You're just loving life. You're loving life.
I honestly was way more emotional for this Super Bowl than I was for the first one for some reason, or the first one with Eli, I should say. I mean, the Sims and Hostetler one. But I mean, this one is way more meaningful. I don't even know why. I think it just means because Eli, yet again, gets to prove everyone wrong. And oh, Jesus fucking Christ! I fucked the plane. I'm staying here first.
No, you got to come back and take your kids to the parade.
I'm gonna fuck. I don't even want to go on the plane. I'll fucking I'll bring a gun under the plane then.
I don't even do that. No, that's nothing but parody, radio parody.
That's right.
He certainly doesn't mean that. You're just joking, and you don't mean it that way.
No,
but
I don't.
no, but here's the thing, Dave. Come back home. When's your flight?
The flight's supposed to be at 11, but it's delayed. It was delayed a half an hour. So
Now we're supposed to see Mark Zito back here today. Did you run into him in Indianapolis at all?
no, I called him several times to see if I could just simply get into one of those serious suites.
Right.
And he gave me a lot of runaround, a lot of excuses, but in the end, nothing. Just jack and shit, bupkis. I didn't even get a free, I just wanted the chicken wings. I wanted to impress my friend.
Right.
He got me the ticket to the Super Bowl. I go, let him meet some of the big guys, some of the guys in the suits, and, impress people. But no, Davey Mack came up short, just like fucking Tom Brady. I came up short.
Let me tell you, it's only because Zito's a prick. That's the only reason.
Oh, he thought, when I called him, Ronnie, he thought that it was a big joke, that it was some kind of radio thing. I go, we're not on the air. There's no microphones here. Why are you laughing? Can I come to like a serious after party or the Maxim thing?
They had giant parties everywhere all week.
I know. So, no, I got nothing. I harassed E-Rock because I understood that his chick or whatever was in the Super Bowl, but E-Rock didn't get anything handled for me. So, in that instance, I could have went on the air or done something or sat in a radio.
You would have been great for them. You could have been, give them a chance to meet some of the air talent.
That's
but,
right.
That's their loss, Davey Mack.
Yeah, but you know what? It doesn't. It stained for a little bit, Ronnie. And if the Giants lost, I would be genuinely furious at Zito. But with the Giants winning, oh man, my life is perfect. I was jerking off to SportsCenter today.
That's fantastic.
I literally.
Yeah, I know you mean it. And now you'll masturbate every time you see Chris Berman on TV, just because that will remind you of the greatest time. And Berman actually said to you, "Get the fuck off me."
Get the fuck off me, because when I take the pictures, I always put my hand around their necks.
Right,
and
smart.
They don't like that. But if you don't do that, they have a tendency to walk away or tell the bodyguard, get this guy away, get the loser away from me, this and that. But if I have them there with my right hand, take the picture with my left hand. Usually I'm able to keep him there for a few seconds. But Berman said, get the fuck off me. He's a lot taller in person, too, Ronnie B.
Why don't you just say, you get the fuck off me, too, Berman? I already met Jesse Jackson. What do I care about you?
Oh, man, Jesse Jackson, that's a nice-looking guy. I really did.
Yeah, he is a handsome man.
Yeah, I thought it was Billy D. Williams. I was like, oh, Jesse, all right.
And 8 people tackled you for trying to be friends with him.
Yeah, because his security did not like that. They don't know. They think, oh, what is this? Some kind of guy, trying
Right, they don't know you the way we do.
No, I'm not racist. What the
No,
shit?
you're just the opposite of racist.
Thank you. I'm like a pacifist or something.
Yeah, your father was in the Peace Corps. We know that you love Jesse Jackson.
In Africa.
In Africa, perfect. You could have brought that up to him. You don't understand. My father went to Africa in 1962.
Don't you get it?
Jesus. Don't you see what's happening here?
Lando.
Don't you see what's happening, Lando? That's so fucking funny.
He still had he still gives us my dad has a Congo drum from the Peace Corps and stuff. Yeah, and Jesse Jackson, wonderful job. I can't believe, and by the way, what anyone will tell you, way more Giants fans at this thing than Pats fans. Because when the Pats lost, all the Patriots fans left out, and there were still 55,000 people, all G-Men fans.
Now, Hicks has some phone calls that you made to him last night. If this, I guess, is Dave at his happiest.
This was after the Giants won.
All right, so Dave is completely happy, completely celebrating, and this is. Do you remember calling Hicks at all?
Yeah, I actually remember it was a great day of drinking, but no blackouts. I paced myself, and I do remember calling him late. Probably in regard to our friend Zito.
All right, let's take a listen.
You're going to keep that hair, baby. You're going to keep that hair, Solomon. And what I suggest you do is, when you shave the beard, I want a little bit to go onto Zito's fucking cockhead, like a little fucking, like a little Gene Simmons wig on his cockhead. And I want him to do a fucking cockhead fucking puppet show. G-Men, Solomon's hair, Pepper.
Why do you call him Solomon? Is there any reason at all, or?
Because of his hair. Because I didn't want him to lose his hair.
But why Solomon?
Was the Solomon the guy who did the hair?
No.
Who was that then?
Samson.
Okay. Well, I thought it was Solomon. I knew it was.
All right, so that's why you're calling him Solomon. You got another one, Hicks?
Yeah, this is regarding Zito yet again.
Okay.
I'm sitting here, I'm fucking eating chips and drinking beer at 11 o'clock in the morning. This fucking Zito won't get me into the serious suite. He won't do this, he won't do that. He's not telling me any of the names of the parties. He won't invite me to the Maximum party. What the fuck is with this guy, Pepper? This Zito fucking character. He won't do this, he won't tell me where the post party is. What's with this guy? And then here I am. You know, I ask him, I call him up, and I go, Mark, can you get me into the serious suite, you know, because I'm hungry, and I'd like some wings and shit. He said, there is no serious suite. Fucking lie.
That's a lie. That's definitely a lie. It's all a lie.
Go Giants.
Go Giants. So that was before the game when he was still looking for fun. You got to remember that Zito's just a little suit. He's a little Brooks Brothers suit.
I know.
He's not one of the fucking guys.
No, I know. No one tried. But they don't understand. If you try a little bit, then everyone gets happy. I
agree.
Chris Berman, these people. That's serious. I know. I'm still an employee. I'm not going to fucking screw around with those people. I don't do that shit. It's just with Jesse Jackson. I screw.
We are back.
We're back and we're better than ever, baby.
Kind of like Davey Mack rising from the dead with your phone call to explain what happened at the Super Bowl. Everybody thought you were passed out cold. And then we hear you had one of the most legendary experiences. I would argue anybody at a Super Bowl. I mean, maybe Janet Jackson had a worse, kind of like, but you're right up there with her.
Well, not only did the Giants win the Super Bowl, and it was absolutely fantastic. I have a bucket list of great sporting events that I really want to go to, before my life is over. And Super Bowl was one of them. I got World Series I've done. Heavyweight boxing match in Madison Square Garden I've done. One of the majors of tennis, I went to the U.S. Open, saw Pete Sampras play, done.
Wow.
But I want to do Kentucky Derby, and I'd love to do a March Madness. But I got the Super Bowl. I checked the Super Bowl thing due to our buddy Aaron, who's no longer with us, who Robert made fun of. And Aaron
he doesn't live in Indianapolis anymore. He's probably happy. Even if he went to hell, he's going to think he's in heaven because he's not in Indianapolis.
Aaron,
and that's the first thing you say on your phone calls, how much you love that shitty city.
Aaron was a wonderful drinking pal. He would have his gin and tonics, and then I would have either Guinness or Jack and Cokes. And we just somehow stumbled our way from one place to another. We didn't know what the hell. In Indianapolis, they built this whole thing like Super Bowl Village. And there's like a zip line, and there's like you could jump over shit and, like jump into the end zone type of stuff. All this stuff. We went through that completely intoxicated. Like, I don't even know how I fucking didn't die on the zip line. But I was just like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. Then we go to the Super Bowl. He was pretty quiet because I think he was a little tired. I was wide awake, having a fantastic time. I watch Eli Manning for a second time bring back the Giants under 2 minutes. And if Tom Brady's the GOAT, then fucking Eli Manning might as well be Al Pacino because that motherfucker is the GOAT, father. Okay?
That's good.
All right. And that's the bottom line. The pass to Mario Manningham was on the sideline I was on. And again, Giants are down. He throws a pass from his own end zone, 55 yards. There's two guys on Mario Manningham. There's a window. The window was basically the size of the football itself. It's an impossible throw. Boom, Manningham catches it. We know we're going to win the Super Bowl, and we did. Afterwards, there was Jesse Jackson, as you pointed out. I couldn't get near him. I tried to say, yo, Rev, like something like that. Reverend.
So the story you shared on air, and again, you're performing, so it may have been a little bit more embellished.
Go ahead.
Had you actually doing the same move you pulled on Berman, where you went up to put your arm around him and take a picture real quick.
Yeah, no. That's what I'm saying. But I mean, this is what I was saying to him as I was doing it.
Okay, because the story you said on air, which I thought was very funny, is you thought he was Lando Calrissian.
Well, I will say, folks, don't give me shit for that. You've never seen Billy D. Williams and the Reverend Jackson in person in the same place. I'm telling you, they do look exactly alike when you see them in person. Okay, and I've seen both guys in person. I went to a Star Wars celebration, and there was this. And Jesse Jackson had a huge security detail. And so when I'm going, hey, Rev, and you're right, I was going up to him, with the phone, wanted to do the selfie. I mean, come on, this is great. The fucking insanely drunk Davey Mack post-Giants winning the Super Bowl. I can get a fucking snapshot with Jesse Jackson. Humongous WWE type giant security guys just came over and said, they wouldn't let me within 15 feet of Jesse Jackson, even though I thought I was being friendly by calling him Yo Rev.
And as we hear you recount on air, the way you thought this was it, I'm getting thrown out of the game.
Yeah, because they were
I'm not
really
gonna get to see
strong
anymore.
with me. Like they put their hands on me and kind of sort of did throw me a little.
And then you got out of it by revealing the piece of information that I think may have damned you later, because you said, sorry, I'm just a retard from New Jersey. And they thought you had special needs. So they were just like, oh, go on through. And I think that really may have fucked you later on. Like, if anybody was a reporter there, like, hey, do you know this guy? Oh, yeah, he's got special needs.
Well, what was crazy is the celebrities and shit were like in our section all of a sudden. They just came out of nowhere. And so I don't know, what they were just all of a sudden around. So, yeah, Jesse Jackson security detail fucking threw me out of there. I made that remark. And then all of a sudden, when I'm getting my druthers, holy shit, ESPN's Chris Berman. Here he comes. Now, Robert.
Yes, sir.
You were not even born. But, and I was like maybe one. But I've seen the clip enough. People, it's time to stop doing that whole thing of, I don't know anything before I was born. I mentioned something to one of my kids, and they're like, I wasn't even born then. I'm like, well, I wasn't born when the Beatles were around, but I know who they are. I wasn't born when, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, was in the wheelchair in the White House and shit. But I know that it happened. Like, stop that. That's not an excuse. Anyway.
Terry Chapin.
So even though I was only a year or whatever old, ESPN plays the highlight all the time of the San Francisco 49ers beating the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC Championship game with Montana throwing an insane pass to Dwight Clark, right? It's called The Catch. Everyone, 49ers fans ran onto the field, and there is a young Chris Berman. He's holding the microphone. People are rushing him because they're extremely happy. They just won the NFC Championship in a miraculous fashion, and they're all the way to the Super Bowl. So, Berman's taking it because, you're now amongst the people. So that's how you're supposed to behave as a reporter. Well, that Chris Berman died a long time ago, apparently, because this fucking Chris Berman, a man of the people, this fucking Chris Berman, I'm seeing him. I go, oh, shit, it's fucking Chris Berman. I put my hand on his neck right here. And I go, let's take a fucking picture, Boomer. And he goes, get your fucking hands off me. Get your goddamn hands off me. He said it twice, once with the F and once with the GD.
Not a nice guy.
No. And I'm like, what happened to you, man? Remember Dallas Cowboy? Sandy 49er? Remember how happy you were when people were basically San Francisco people were running onto the field, basically punching him in the face? He was lucky he didn't get Harvey milked. And that either means shot or fucked in the ass.
And you were about to fuck him in the ass.
I was going to just take a goddamn selfie with Chris Berman.
Yeah.
I will never ask for a picture from Chris Berman or any ESPN personality ever again. That's it. I'm done. I'm out. If that's how rude they're going to treat people. And by the way, that's your reaction when there's confetti and people are freaking out and celebrating. People are crying with joy.
He probably had a lot of money on the Pats.
Your reaction is, get your fucking hands off me. Get your goddamn hands off me.
He probably put a lot of money on the Pats.
Well, he was stupid. Because this was the second time the Giants won. So if you put a lot of money on the Pats, that was dumb because the Giants had already beaten them.
I would, in the future, Dave, try to get your selfies taken with Fox Sports people. I hear they're much friendlier. I don't know if you heard about the big lawsuit where the lady was fucking the entire staff.
You mean, yeah, Skip Bayless was doing a David Letterman scenario?
Yeah. And then that one lady was just like fucking her way to the top.
Shannon Sharp left for a reason, didn't he? He knew.
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did.
Fucking knew, right? I mean, he got out of there right in the nick of time. He's on ESPN First Take having a good old time, and the fucking Fox Sports is almost sunk because of the Skip Bayless shit.
And doing a podcast where he gets to get drunk every day. I mean, it's literally your ideal future, Dave.
I know, yeah. Oh God, yeah. Shannon Sharp. What an interesting man he is. Shay, they call him. Unc.
So we did get the behind the story of the Berman. We got the behind story of the Jesse Jackson. And I got to tell you, I think you're safe because a lot of people try to ship Billy D. Williams into documentaries about Jesse Jackson. So you don't have to worry about the allegations there. Like I see that like once a month, they're trying to push that. So you're good.
Yeah.
But one other controversy I'd like to get into that we learned from the phone call is apparently you love Indianapolis.
Yeah, it's fun. Nice little place.
Why?
Well, Indianapolis reminded me of Red Bank, New Jersey, very much so. Red Bank, since the resurgence of Asbury Park, which is a fantastic mini city, if you will, larger town. It's really considered a city, actually. Asbury Park had fucking become a hellhole in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I remember watching an Opie and Anthony show from the Stone Pony in like the year 2000. And Rich Voss came on stage and he goes, "It's good to be here in Asbury Park, the Beirut of the Jersey Shore." Yeah, that got a massive laugh because everyone knew how shitty Asbury Park was. It insanely has turned around. Asbury Park is now yet once again a vital, wonderful New Jersey destination. Great bars, great restaurants, the boardwalk. It's fantastic again. But
and we wonder why they want to get you out.
But in the 60s, so when Asbury Park sucked in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, Red Bank had sort of taken over as the cool, hip town. That's where Kevin Smith, of Clerks fame, has his comic shop.
Absolutely.
Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash. It's still there, I believe. It's got some cool places, but I do think in recent years, Asbury Park has taken the coolness a little bit. But Indianapolis, long story short, is very much like Red Bank, New Jersey.
That makes sense. Do you blame Billy Staples for the downfall of Red Bank? Like his bombing?
No, I don't blame the orange ball failure. You are the king of inside references. It's amazing.
We all got our autism, Dave. But when you're talking to Ron and Fez, you give that kind of reasoning, and then you give one other reasoning, which is it's where A Christmas Story was filmed. And I hope one of the producers listens to this and sends me to the pretty good prize closet when I call you out for this. That is not where the movie was filmed. It was filmed in Cleveland, Ohio. And I know that because literally once a year, my dad's like, we should go see that house. And it's just a piece of shit in the middle of nowhere, Cleveland.
Well,
Ohio.
I thought they said, though, they filmed it in 2 locations, that they used the Cleveland for where the family lives, but they used parts of Indianapolis for like the parade scenes.
I thought that was Toronto. And
I heard Indianapolis because it does match up.
Mm-hmm. And they say that they live in a fake town in Indiana, so that would make sense. But
yeah,
I
thought
my chances of getting in the prize closet.
Yeah, I think the parade. I don't know. It's possible that that was bullshit. But I thought that they filmed some exteriors for the fucking movie in Indianapolis. So.
That would make sense. It does.
But you're right. The house is in Cleveland. The family's house is in Cleveland.
There's a great documentary about the making of it. That's not what we're talking about. As we continue, so we've heard you were drunk. You saw Jesse before the game. You kind of make it through that. You go through the game. You run into Chris Berman there during the celebration. What happens post game? Because are you still drinking with your buddy? What do we go to next?
Oh, yeah. Oh, hell yeah. We're celebrating. We go to the bar. But honestly, it was a long weekend. I mean, like I said, I started Friday on the plane. 9 o'clock in the morning. We just kept it going all the way, like no breaks, kept it going through Saturday, kept it going through the Super Bowl. We did go out to exactly 1 bar, but we were just like, after by midnight, like, I am dead fucking tired.
And that's 1 a.m. your time, just to put it in perspective.
But the next day it was like, it was funny because you could see in the air, you've never seen so many hungover people in one location before. All people wearing either Giant sweatshirts or Patriot sweatshirts were 100% hungover, but their vibes were different. The Giants fans were all like, I'm hungover, but I'm smiling, right?
Yeah.
And the Patriot people were just miserable. Like, I am now not only hungover, I'm overheated in this airport. I have to fly back home. I wasted $7,000 coming out here to watch my team lose again in the final 2 minutes. Patriots fans were miserable. Oh, it was amazing.
I've never gotten to experience a Super Bowl like that, but best I can relate is I used to have to clean the toilets every Sunday at 6 a.m. at Dick's. And if I had a great set the night before, you don't mind. You're like, hell yeah, these people don't know I was a star as you're plunging the toilet. But if you had bombed, you're just like, fuck this. This is my life. I hate everything. So
yeah, right.
Very relatable.
Yeah, I get it.
At the game, you tried to contact Zito a bunch because you wanted to get in the serious suites. You wanted to get into some of the serious parties.
Yep.
And
they had parties. There were all kinds of parties and fun events. And when people ask, and I think I'm pretty easy on Sirius XM, but they treated me like fucking shit, folks. Like, real talk. Like, $37,000 for what I was bringing to that fucking company is pitiful, embarrassing, and a complete insult. I have self-worth and self-value. I know that I'm good at this shit. And I also know that there were fucking 10 O&A producers who were making almost twice the amount of money I was making. So you can't convince me that I was paid fair. And then here we go. I want to work for your company on the Super Bowl. No. Okay, well, I'm going anyway now. Due to the generosity of a fan of mine, I'm now going there. Can I get an interview? Can I, get a microphone? Can I do something? Can I please work for the company, but also my show? But it's my show's on your company. It's on your channel on Saturday nights now.
Honestly,
no. I called Zito. Can you get me into a party or this or that? I tell you, for the amount of shit that I've done for people, when I ask for help, which is quite rare, you'd think the Dave man would get a little.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the best metaphor I could think of
is
that number 26 jersey. You should put it on because you were the Saquon Barkley of Sirius XM. Like, the whole time they were like, oh, we've got this guy we don't really think much of. He'll burn out. And you continue to just do excellent things and nobody ever recognized it. But so Zito gave you a runaround. We hear at the time, you blamed E-Rock too. You said you reached out to E-Rock and he gave you absolutely nothing. Do you still feel that way? Is there anything you're mad at him for?
Here's one thing that's always going to drive me insane. And guess what? deservedly so. I'm writing an email to you about business. You don't get back to me? Again, everyone in radio pretends they're the busiest fucking people on the planet Earth. Like they're the fucking, CIA goddamn agents in the Middle East or some shit. Like, you have fucking a little time. You have 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, or 4 hours here and 5 hours there. You have plenty of time to get back to people. It's insane when you text someone or email someone and they don't get back to you, and then they get mad when you're mad. I'm like, Eric, this is for business. I'm going to the Super Bowl. Can I get some equipment? Can I get some passes so I can do some shit for the goddamn channel? No response. Crickets. I wish I could say that Compound Media wasn't run the exact same way, but it was, which is why it's gone. Lack of attention to detail and lack of caring about your talent and not respecting them always fails. Zito. E-Rock. The fuck do they think they are? Steven Spielberg? Quentin Tarantino? You're too busy to get back to me when I want to work on the weekend at the Super Bowl. I want to work. You can't come up with a pass for my ass.
And
Story of my life, motherfucker. I'm more talented than 99% of the people out there, but they just, for some reason, got to keep me down. Maybe they're threatened.
It's the Van Gogh curse. Redheads aren't recognized as stars in their time, but people look
think
back
it's
and
because
like,
people realize the fucking second I join their show or this or that, I'm going to fucking kick ass. And people get threatened by that. They go, oh, this guy's kicking ass. People like him or don't like him, but they're talking about him. So, I don't want to be in the Dave business because
it's cowardly.
What?
I would say it's cowardly.
Still doing it.
Doing what?
Trying to talk no, go ahead. It's cowardly.
Yeah. I was just saying it was cowardly that people are scared to get in the Dave business. It takes a real strong stud who can get like yelled at, like you're talking over me, and realize that's the star. He's great. It takes somebody with a lot of just real mental.
Yeah, you got to have thick skin.
Fortitude. Yeah, exactly. So
you're saying Mark Zito is thin-skinned?
That wasn't necessarily the one I was getting at.
Oh, yeah. Shots fired to E-Rock from Bobby Tenbur.
Well, he got me fired, piece of shit.
Hey, let's move on. Let's move back. This is a Super Bowl special, too, by the way.
Yeah, and you did take out some of your frustration like you just did now that evening. You called Chris Pepper Stanley, and you didn't take out any frustration on him, but you did leave a voicemail kind of ranting about Zito, something about shoving something into his cockhole. And I was going to ask if that issue was resolved, but based on how you felt, I think we get it. Like,
I don't know the guy.
It's frustrating.
I don't know the guy. I don't know why Ron and Fez, for some reason, like the guy. I always saw him as a phony.
And let me ask you this. At what point, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but at what point did it start to feel like you were the retiring quarterback that they were getting ready to move on from? Like the whole time, you as a young guy, you got the job out of working at a bar. You're enthusiastic. My time's going to come. My time's going to come. When do you start to feel like, oh, this company's moved past me?
I never felt like that.
Example of that? Okay.
Yeah. I never felt like that. But the disrespect was adding up, It's like, guys, I'm as good as any of you guys. Any of you. Any of you on the air at SiriusXM, I'm as good as you. But I'm not going to be treated like dog shit when I fucking, I'm asked by the Opie and Anthony show, a show that I don't even fucking work for. Okay, can you do this? Yes, I'll do this. I'll do it all for you. I'll do everything you want. Yep, I'll do everything. I work for Ron and Fez. I give everything I have. Sam and Dave, everything I have. Davey Max Sports Program XL, everything I have. And guess what? Everything was good.
Yeah.
You can't deny it because me and Sam were there on Saturday nights. We saw the phone bank lit up all the time. Then Sam moves on, and it's me and Pepper or me and Roy doing Davey Max Sports Program XL. 9 fucking lines. The whole entire phone bank is busy. That tells you that people are fucking listening. They're paying. They're tuning in live. And I don't know. I don't know why it was always such a struggle to convince these uncreative, brain-dead mopes that you when I want to do work for you or help you, you should give me that opportunity because I'm going to improve your product. I promise I will.
I couldn't agree.
Even if you don't like me, I fucking bring the goddamn fire that I become a must listen.
Yeah, in fact, some of the best air you do is being hateable. Like literally intentionally being a heel. I'm saying that as a compliment. You made good radio because people were rooting against you. But I do think everybody was happy for you and that the Giants won, that you got to be at that Super Bowl. We hear Ron's going to give Pepper the day off so he can go to the parade. We hear you're going to take your kids to the parade. Did that ever come to fruition?
Oh, yeah. I took the kids. Oh, yes, sir. I took the kids to the to their that was their one and only Giants parade. Because in 2008, Juliana was not yet born, and she would be born in May.
Stan wasn't either.
And Stan was not either, since he is the younger child. But in this one, it was 2012. Absolutely. We were going there. I packed him in. It was pretty cold that day. But it was still a very fun experience. It's always so weird to see, but fun, the guys in their jeans and fucking leather coats. They always wear black leather coats and jeans. I don't know if that was some kind of mandate for the Giants, but during the parade, make sure you get your black leather coats and your jeans, boys.
We're doing an Andrew Dice Clay lookalike contest, all right?
Everyone had the same look. It didn't matter. It was Eli or Strayhead or fucking Justin Tuck or who. Black leather coat and jeans.
They're like, we need a fashion look that everybody can enjoy. You know what everybody loves? A black leather jacket, whether you're white, black, Indian,
like
Chinese.
An Undertaker, the wrestler, type of coat.
Absolutely.
But then the jeans was like, oh, okay.
Hey, you gotta be comfy.
The black leather coats for the intimidation factor. The jeans, though, are for the friendly factor. Like, don't be too intimidated. I'm a friendly person. I'm wearing jeans.
Walking around like you're about to sing about a car you're building in shop class, even though you're all 35.
But I love those parades, man. And I'll tell you one thing. I haven't been to a Yankee parade in a long ass time, Brian Cashman. Don't think that I have forgotten about you, you little fucking weasel. You goddamn little ferret. Don't think for a second I haven't. March is almost here. Once March arrives, I'm going to be all over your ass. Since it's February, I'm still all over Joe Shane's ass. But I got two of the worst general managers with Shane and the Giants and Cashman and the Yankees. This shit's embarrassing, man.
I'm just glad I don't have the title of GM of your podcast. Then you'd have 3 shitty GMs. On that note, we've been pretty football heavy so far this episode, but there are other aspects of the Super Bowl. Let's let the audience enjoy some Ron and Fez audio from that era, and we'll be right back.
Be doing better. You love the commercials, though, huh, Fez?
I absolutely love it. I will have my big legal pad Sunday and just jotting down everything that happens during the commercial breaks.
And then after that, you can write what time the trains go by.
It was partly cloudy out today.
He keeps the weather every year.
Somebody has to.
Dear Diary, another great commercial. Still don't know what it is. Something called Macintosh.
We will find out in January of 1984.
If you didn't work in radio, would you still sit there with a pad and write all the things down?
Absolutely.
Why?
Just so I can go back at the end of the night. I'm not going to wait for the USA Today ad meter, which comes out the next morning. I want that list in front of me and where I've rated just to see where I match up with America. We're usually a little off.
Ad meter's so useful, though, and concise. And that has links to all the videos, which is great in this internet age.
Well, I'm sorry my legal pad doesn't have video links.
Gotta get with the times.
I'm working on the fly.
Why don't you get an iPad?
I thought it was a mosquito.
I can go faster on a legal pad. Number 7 on the list from Budweiser. Plenty to choose from Budweiser commercials. But I didn't want to go with the frogs. I found that dull and childish.
Why?
it was just animated frogs.
Wiser.
Bud.
Wiser.
Bud.
And then the Clydesdales playing football. I was never entertained by that one.
Looks like you've read the comments and you're already trying to battle back, huh?
No. So, but the WhatsApp commercial is where I put Budweiser in.
What did you call it?
WhatsApp.
That was a Super Bowl commercial?
Yes. WhatsApp from 2000. I love that commercial.
Holy shit. Everyone was fucking doing that. It was
yes,
ridiculous.
it took off. It started a national craze.
It seems like it's longer ago than 11 years, though. WhatsApp. Fucking dickhead.
And I thought it would have stuck around longer. A decade later, still going, what's up?
Why are we all still saying what's up?
Let's try to bring it back.
All right.
Just call someone randomly now.
Remember that, dude?
What's up? I remember I stopped wanting to do it halfway through the commercial. I thought it was stupid.
Number 6 on the list of greatest Super Bowl commercials all time, Reebok, Terry Tate office linebacker from 2003.
Hate it.
I love this one, the trash-talking linebacker who's now in the corporate world, taking out people.
Yeah, I hated this one. I did like What's Up, though.
Oh, his name was Felcher?
Yeah, Felcher's going to get you, and he would just tackle people. It was stupid.
Suck cum on your ass.
It was a very short fucking...
They tried to make a bunch of them. They just didn't catch on.
Yes, it stunk. This should have never made your top of all time. Not over the Budweiser frogs. Or those Clydesdales.
They should have had the frog saying was up. Or did they?
I like when the Clydesdales felt really sad and started crying when 9/11 happened. When they went where the towers used to be and they started to fucking put their heads down. Didn't feel like they had embraced the full seriousness of that.
You know, we didn't need big beer horses down there at that point.
Beer horses.
They were in Jersey City.
That's what we needed.
Just getting in the way.
They were watching from across the Hudson. What's up? Go ahead, Fez.
Number.
What's up? What's up?
Did you say vodka?
That's how quickly you start to just fucking, you know. Hey, Al.
Hey, Al.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Fez.
Yeah.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
What is it?
What's
Super Bowl commercials.
Oh, God, he just yelled Super Bowl commercials.
That's not a greeting.
Big Horses Eats was back here getting those fucking glasses of ice.
Oh, fuck.
What's up? What happened to the Bud Bowl, Fezzy? Bud Bowl in here?
No, I did not include the Bud Bowl.
Oh, Bud Bowl's the best. It's fucking beer that plays sports.
You know what I used to say all during the Bud Bowl?
What's that?
What's up?
Ahead of your time.
What's up? It's the Ron and Fez show. Fez is doing his list that he cut and pasted from other sites. This is very exciting today.
I put this together myself.
Ryan, you're on Ron and Fez.
What's up?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Bud Bowl was the best.
Yeah, this list, I'm starting really loving it. Hey, Cal. Cal, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
What number of the list we at, Ronnie?
I think we're coming up to 5.
Number 5.
What's up?
Okay.
What's up?
I try to put a list together. It's Super Bowl week, and you're just mocking it.
No.
What's up? What number are we on, Fez?
We're on number 5.
What's the last one we did?
Wait, it was number 6.
Yeah, I know that. What was the fucking product? I know how to fucking count. What was the product?
That was
Matt, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
What's up?
What's up? What's up?
What's up?
We need to move
What's
past.
up?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
That was number 7, and we need to move past it if we're going to get...
We know. Stop saying what numbers are and tell us what the last product. I know the last thing we did was what's up?
The last thing we did was Terry Tate Reebok office linebacker.
You know what I would say to Terry Tate? What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
Hey, Trucker, you're on the Ron Fez show.
Is that Binky?
What can we do for you?
All right, we're past that. It was 11 years ago, like we mentioned.
Give us a countdown from where we are so far.
All right, we started at number 10, and that was the careerbuilder.com.
Right.
Monkey business, followed by Tabasco sauce mosquito commercial, Apple's 1984 ad, the Budweiser What's Up commercial. I was just trying to recap.
I understand, but we are recapping. What is it?
Then Terry Tate office
What came
linebacker.
before that?
Before Terry Tate was Budweiser What's Up.
What's up? It's our buddy Hard Rock Johnny.
Hey, Ronnie, the other day I went to a sushi place and I had wasabi!
That was
Hard
the
Rock Johnny, you're
follow-
not helping.
That was the follow-up commercial, Fez, if you remember correctly.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Did
It was
not
awesome.
do as well as what's up?
No, wasabi did not make the list, so we're moving on.
Fez is doing his list of top 10 was-ups, and it is a lot of fun. Now I'm starting to like the Super Bowl more and more, because you get to say what's up.
Constantly, what there?
Here's Big Cheese Dog. Big Cheese Dog.
What's up?
What's up? Wasabi!
Yeah, what's up?
We're not
Johnny,
even...
are you feeling excited about the Super Bowl? Johnny's going to hang on in line with us a little bit.
Easy, you had surgery.
Let's go to Mark in Chicago.
I thought I'd get something important to ask you.
What's that?
What's
Fez is doing his list of top 10 was-ups.
No, it was top 10 Super Bowl ads, and now it's being completely mocked out.
What came before number 6, Fez? Number 7?
No, that was the Budweiser What's Up
What's
commercial.
Go ahead, what were you saying?
I was at number 5.
Okay, what is number 5?
Number 5 is the Master Lock ad.
What's up?
That catchphrase wasn't used in this.
Sure.
They should have, though.
This is from 1975, the world-famous ad of the Master Lock being shot by a rifle, and it did not open. Repeat, did not open.
Well, you know what people are writing on your thing, too? What's up?
I'm getting plenty of that here. They don't need to put it in the comment section.
The comments are coming in as, what's up? Hopefully they'll stop. Here's Ian in Maryland. You're in Ron Fez. Ian. Lost you. Mike, you're on the Ron Fez show.
Hey, Ronnie, every once in a while I get a psychic look, so I've got a message for Fez from his dad. What's up?
What's up?
My father enjoyed the phrase, but at that time...
Everyone is tweeting, what's up? Mike the Trucker, what do you got?
Yeah, this is one hell of a list.
What's up?
Thank you, Mike. If we could just focus, we could get
Well,
to
you're the
list.
one leading it, Fez.
Yes.
So you would not ask us to focus. You would be able to just do your list. And the list, other than what's up, doesn't seem to be very strong. Master Lock? Why would anyone look forward to seeing a Master Lock?
It's a Super Bowl tradition.
I would have no idea that.
To shoot a lock?
Yes.
Locks don't greet each other.
If they did, you know what they say. Nate, go ahead, buddy. Nate in Maine.
Hey, buddies. Hey, Fez, I know you've had a secret for a while. I was just wondering, what's up?
What's up?
God, thank God this is back.
It's back and not a minute too soon. We're doing the top 10 what's-ups. Johnny, you came up with wasabi.
Wasabi.
Throwback. Let's go over to Joe, Sean, and Rich. What did you guys want to say?
Hey, what one hit
What's up? Multiple phone lines. What's up?
This list is being ruined.
What's up?
The people are trying to ruin Super Bowl.
How are they trying to ruin Super Bowl?
This is making it better.
By stopping the list that I put together.
You just said
that
list.
I put work into.
This list, I bet, occurs all over the internet. It's the same list, Fez. It's the Wazab list. Everybody's used to it. We all love this commercial.
Fuck yeah. Makes our lives better.
It does.
Number 4 was McDonald's.
Number 4 from what?
Number 4 from a whore.
We never say
Oh.
It's just the thing. Come on, dude. Are we going to be doing Wazap or not?
No, we're moving on to McDonald's at number 4.
You don't say the, you don't say you just say, if it's 3 from tree, not 3 from a tree, 3 from the tree. It's 3 from tree. It feels like we're not even going to do this anymore. I don't know. Let's go over to Ed, Dennis, Jerk, and Nick. What did you guys want to say?
Well, what I wanted to say was, in 2005, I went to the Milwaukee Brewers home opener. It was outdoors.
Yeah.
And there were 2 things that everybody could hear in the stands that day, the 2 most famous phrases. One was, cold beer, and the other one was, what's up?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up? This is making your list better, huh, Fez?
No, it's stopping the list altogether.
You've got a lead.
McDonald's, number 4, the showdown, Jordan versus Bird. This was actually a 2-part commercial from 1993. There was a pregame...
What's up? Hey, John, what's up?
Boys, it just happened to be driving through St. Louis, and I looked over and I saw a little sign. Pulled over and asked the guy what it said, and he said, "What's up?"
Scotch, what's up? Dennis, what's up? So, Jordan and Bird, they were shooting a basketball. It took them 2 commercials to finish.
Right. They set up the bet, and in the pregame ad, came back during the Super Bowl, and then did the spot where they're trying to outshoot each other for Jordan's Big Mac. Fantastic idea.
What's up?
That takes me to my number 3 ad from just last year's Super
Why
Bowl.
don't you do it the way we do it?
3 from me.
Well, why wouldn't it be 3 from P? To make us all laugh a little more.
So it is...
What is?
Number 3 from P.
Just 3 from P.
I don't like saying that word.
Well, how do you get guys to pee on you?
What's
I'm lost on this fucking list. Last I heard, someone pissed on you?
No, no one's pissed on me. I bet this list has gotten pissed on.
Water sports?
Boy, you really talk dirty. Jim, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm trying to keep up with the list, and I can't remember what was number 7.
What was number 7, Fez?
Number 7 was...
Oh, I remember. What's up?
What's up? So that was the whole list?
No, I'm at number 3 from last year's Super Bowl.
Number 3 from what?
Number 3 from P. It's Volkswagen Young Darth Vader.
Oh, please.
From last year. One of the best Super Bowl spots ever. It's George Lucas actually doing something good with what he has, licensing the Darth Vader likeness and the Imperial March theme for this Volkswagen ad with the little kid trying to use his dark side force powers. Then we even found out the next day on the Today Show the little kid was born with a heart defect. Probably not the correct response.
The only part of this list I like is the "What's up."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That brings us to number 2, if you're following along on the Interrobang.
Why would you be? Yeah. Number 2 from what? You never do the bit.
Number 2 from Goo.
Oh my God. You're doing jizz?
I couldn't think of anything that rhymed with 2.
Poo! You just went from P.
P and Goo.
And it's got to be spunky.
Oh, God, yeah.
Number 2 from Pooh.
What happened to Goo?
You can do Goo if you want to jizz it up.
All right, number 2 from Goo.
I'm not going to stop you from jizzing out.
It's the spot for the David Letterman show from 2010, where it's David Letterman, Oprah at a Super Bowl party, and Jay Leno appears.
I'm going to be honest here. I hated that. I hated that Letterman sold out that whole bit and just fucking ruined it. And Jimmy Fallon had not Jimmy Fallon, the other Jimmy.
Kimmel?
Yeah, it was like, why did you take your knee off his fucking throat? We were drowning the man. And you made America think it's all just a joke and it's okay. Now, last night I liked him when he did, What's up? What's up? Wasabi. Fez, where did you fucking steal this from Dull Online?
No, I didn't go to Dull Online. I shouldn't even have to say that.
But you did.
And the number 1 commercial on my list.
Carbonite.
No, it is
Carbonite.
Oh, no.
Goes back.
What is the Carbonite ad? How come we never run that anymore?
I don't think they're a sponsor.
No, I know that, but then we used to keep the ad. Wasabi!
Number 1 is from 1979.
Hey, Tony in Boston.
What's up?
What's up? Tony, I want you to meet Andy in Cleveland.
Baby, what's up?
Andy in Cleveland, I want you and Tony to meet John. What's up?
Let's go, Patriots!
Here's Beth in Boston.
Hey, Ron. So did you know in that Star Wars movie, Darth Vader,
Yeah.
when he says, Luke,
Yeah.
Luke, you are my what's up?
What's up?
His son.
What's up?
You people are nuts.
We've come to the end of the last audio we're going to play for this episode. Unfortunately, I don't have anything quite as brilliant as what Fez set up, a bit 4 years in the making. Because we originally heard on the audio that the second reason that we never discussed why Ron didn't want to go to your Super Bowl party was that Fez likes to sit there with a notepad and write down and rank all the commercials live. And he didn't want anybody mocking Fez for that or making fun of Fez for that. It was their tradition.
Yep.
And 4 years later, the Giants are back in the Super Bowl. And what bit does Fez come to deliver to air but his ranking of the Super Bowl commercials? I know you weren't part of the show technically at this time, but do you think that was intentional?
No, that was not intentional, but that's just incredible long-term storytelling. That's that's fantastic. I mean, talk about coming full circle. That's amazing. So this is the Fez, the Fez Super Bowl commercial review.
And it kind of goes back to what you were saying about everybody going, oh, the game's rigged. And sometimes Super Bowl champs just do Super Bowl things. Sometimes a show is just that good that without even doing so, they can do a 4-year callback because it's just that solid of a quality product. And what I like about this is it sets up my favorite dynamic that we got to see a lot more during your era of Ron and Fez that we didn't get to see so much after you left, which is Fez being the straight man and Ron kind of being the derailer. Like after you left, it kind of transitioned into Fez being the derailer, whereas Ron was the guy trying to keep the show going forward, if that makes any sense.
That makes sense to me. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know if that's accurate. That's your opinion, but that's interesting. Yeah, I guess so. What you're saying is Ron and I oftentimes would screw with Fez a little.
Absolutely. Or there was a third guy that could kind of be like an antithesis so that it met in the middle and was straight, and Fezzy could kind of steer the ship a little more.
Yes.
But the best example I could possibly think of, and I know it's a fan favorite, we'll do an episode on it someday, but the Carby commercial. Where Fez just was like, please just do this live read. And it became a 10-minute bit of you having multiple characters,
Yeah.
And I really enjoy that element. It's kind of, especially with how great Ron is at Ron Bennington interviews, getting to see him be the sillier, kind of fun side is really fun.
Oh, Carby. People love that Carby shit, man.
Absolutely. Carby's a great example. This was fun. And, obviously the commercials Fez did.
This whole WhatsApp thing and everything like that, because even that is like, isn't this 10 years late on the WhatsApp?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Like the WhatsApp had come and gone, right?
It's by far. It certainly had. That said, Fez does have a point, because I was doing comedy and I asked a guy if he was a doctor, and he was like, no, I just play one on TV. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? He was like, I stayed at a Holiday Inn last night. I was like, oh, are we quoting 90s commercials? What's up? And the audience loved it. So like, even to this day, you could still pull that reference, and it just
what's
brilliant
up?
by Fez.
Yeah.
Now what the bit develops into is a bit of a comedy pyramid where everybody's calling in to do the what's up and interrupt Fez's discussion of the commercials. Do you think Fez planned this? Because if you think about it, just ranking your favorite commercials is kind of a morning zoo hacky thing.
Do I think Fez planned this?
Yes.
No. Fez was probably coming in to do this bit, and Ron decided to just have some fun.
Which is the brilliance of the show.
Yeah. I think Fez, I think Ron probably even said, bring in, make sure you bring in your Super Bowl commercial recap. We're definitely going to be doing that today. And okay, I got all the Super Bowl rankings. I got it ready to go. Okay, here you go. And then he just started screwing away, which is why it was hysterical.
And it was brilliant. Now, have you ever been in a position where Ron gave you or Fez gave you an assignment that you took seriously, and then it became the thing that was being mocked as part of a comedy pyramid?
I mean, I feel that not as much of a prepared bit. Like Fez came in with a, Super Bowl commercial rankings, but I feel like some of the stories that I said, I still maintain that I was watching a Discovery Channel special, and they gave us they told us on this special that Jesus Christ invented the chair, the regular chair that people either sat on pillows back in the day, or kings had the thrones. But we're talking about, Jesus made a proper nice chair with a back on it. And that was something that he invented. Now, I maintain to this day, I saw this on a Discovery Channel special.
But when you bring that up, do you go, I'm bringing this up out of seriousness, or do you bring it up going, they're probably...
I don't know how we got into the conversation, but similar to what happened with Fez, after I said that, any caller was calling up and mocking me about Jesus inventing chairs. Like I said. Now, I've tried to track down the Discovery Channel special in the years since. I've been unsuccessful thus far, but I promise you I saw this.
I'm sure it exists, buddy. I'm sure it's there, just like
I
the
saw
Kruger
it.
film.
I fucking saw this. I'm not kidding.
I saw this crazy thing on the Discovery Channel where they were like, Hitler was in Antarctica. So I'm sure that's true too.
Listen.
But the question I have is, when that happens to you, how do you pick up on it, and B, then kind of lean into it? Because now you have a job to double down, like using the Jesus story as an example.
Oh, you just don't, you just never waver and you never admit you're wrong. There's no point in admitting that you're wrong on the radio. See, I'll never fucking admit I'm wrong. Ever.
That's fair.
And if I have to go down the fucking thing of, listen, I saw this on the Discovery Channel and it's there and there's great proof that Jesus invented proper chairs, I'm going to maintain that until the rest of my life, on and off the air.
Okay. So then do you come in with everything you do from an enthusiastic, you're right perspective? Like, even if you don't evaluate whether or not the audience is going to mock you, like the Davey Max Jack and Ride, you're going to believe in that invention.
Obviously, there are times where I know that I'm setting myself up to be the bad guy or to be the mocked person. 100%. I'm not, some of the things that I was going to say on the air, you're going to get heat. I wonder what, that was the purpose of it.
Okay. I guess the reason I ask is Sam Roberts in particular is accused of putting out certain stories to get mocked for, so other things don't. And people view you as kind of like an open book, where you do have you're doing some works, there are some shoots there, some blends. How do you
what do you mean? He says stories what?
So people accuse Sam of saying like the story about he only eats chicken fingers and doing things like that he can be mocked for, coming up with those particular things so people don't delve too much into other areas that he doesn't want them to. Whereas you seem to be more of an open book when it comes to radio.
I didn't realize that Sam was that Machiavellian. This is such a theory from Robert. I've never so basically you're thinking that Sam Roberts maybe has killed someone, or committed a gay act.
To be clear, this isn't a Rob theory. I love Sam.
Committed a gay act in a public restroom, something like that. So instead of getting mocked for those things, Sam's going to say, "I only eat chicken fingers." That's the theory.
That's the theory. I wouldn't call it Rob's theory. I don't know if Rob subscribes
I've never heard it. I had never heard this before. Now, I'm out of it when it comes to a lot of this shit these days. I just don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I was referencing the porcelain documentary. That was one of the big theses he took. So if you're looking for info on that, but the question I was going to ask you wasn't so much about Sam. It was more about you. How do you keep a sense of on the air, off the air, when you are at sometimes such an open book and at sometimes you're doing things specifically for the air?
I don't know. You just give it all you got, Robert. That's just the way life is. You just got to give it all you got and hope that one day it pays off. And you give it all you got and you hope that you're not, for the rest of your life, undervalued and underpaid. Now, I'm still looking for that next phase of my life where I'm going to be respectfully rewarded for my contributions, which are just as ample as anyone else. Else, they're just I contribute just as well, do as many creative things as people who are doing so well they can build little studios in their houses and things. And
that was such a Super Bowl answer. All it was missing was, first of all, I'd like to thank the Lord Jesus Christ, and then it's all about the team. It's all about, you didn't really answer, but I get what you're saying there.
Yeah.
Before we move on from Fez's commercials, because it was such a fantastic bit.
Yeah,
what
great
is your favorite commercial of all time?
Super Bowl commercial?
Yeah. Do you have one that
the
really
Cindy Crawford one is a classic, but I think the one that I like the most, because I remember being a kid and I thought there was a rule or so. I don't know, maybe not, but I thought you were never supposed to show another brand on your commercial. And so the Super Bowl commercial, where it was the Pepsi truck driver and the Coca-Cola truck driver with the song with that, 60s, come on, people, now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, I love one another. That song That's still, I think that's my favorite. The Coca-Cola, Pepsi. Come on, people. Now that one, that's the best one.
I enjoyed that one too. I mean, What's Up's up there for me. I was in 4th grade, I believe, when that commercial came out. So I was their demographic. I think for a year.
I forgot. Did you? Because this is only going to come up here. So I'm going to give this. I'll deliver this story here very briefly. I played this commercial on the Eastside Dave show when we were on Compound Media because it's legitimately the only place that I would actually play this commercial, this quote unquote commercial. But my man, Jimbo, he can do any Photoshop. He's been doing all kinds of crazy fucking Photoshops for years and years and years. He entered a contest where make your own commercial, Doritos commercial. If Doritos chooses it, they will play it on the Super Bowl. All right? So I'm doing Davey Max Sports Program. I get an email, and it's Jimbo. He says, hey, Dave, I'm entering that Doritos commercial. Could you promote it? Could you tweet this out? Or could you play it on your show? I go, okay, let me watch it first. He wanted me to tweet this out. Number one, it was a montage of famous historical scenes, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, this is an indictment on me. This is my Photoshop guy who's crazier than me. Like, everyone is fucked up in my world.
He made a Photoshop that brought me to tears once. We'll just leave it at that. We don't have to discuss what it was.
So, Jimbo sends it to me. They're all historical fucking events throughout, the 20th century. Would you like to hear how the commercial went?
Please.
Okay, the commercial starts off with John F. Kennedy in a fucking convertible in Dallas. And when he gets shot in the fucking head, Doritos come flying out of the back of his head, and so much so that they fill up the screen, and you're only blocked by Doritos. Then the Doritos leave, and I'm not even laughing at this one. Robert.
I am.
The Doritos leave, and the next thing was a fucking giant Dorito chip flying into the World Trade Center.
How did he not win?
No. I go, Jimbo, I am not tweeting this, buddy. I go, this is a career killer. You want me to fucking put this on social media? You got JFK's head getting blown off with Doritos coming out, and the next thing is a giant Dorito chip flying into the fucking Twin Towers? No, we're not doing this, Jimbo. And I love you, Jimbo. If you're watching, I still love you. That commercial was not going to get chosen by Doritos to be their official Super Bowl commercial. I can guarantee you on that, Jimbo.
I thought it was hilarious, Jimbo, and I think the only thing potentially missing was an autopsy of your friend Aaron, and it's just his liver, and it's a giant Dorito.
Oh,
that's
terrible.
But you've never really been a commercial guy when it comes to Super Bowls. You've either been about the game, or the other area I feel you really shine in is songs about the Super Bowl.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I thought, kind of like Fez did with the commercials, I'd compile a top 5 songs about the Super Bowl.
Okay.
And see how you felt about that. We could kind of just react along. How do you feel
All right.
about that?
All right. Top 5 Super Bowl songs, according to Bobby Tamburo.
We gotta start with number 5, obviously. It's the best one, I think. The curse that came with it, the Super Bowl.
We are the Bears, shuffling crew, shuffling on down, doing it for you. We're so bad, we know we're good. Blowing your mind like we knew we would. You know we're just strutting for fun, strutting our stuff for everyone. We're not here to start no trouble. We're just here to do the Super Bowl shuffle.
Well, they call me Sweetness, and I like to dance. Running the ball is like making more mans. We had to go.
Yeah. This was good.
Yeah.
I did you know that we complained in 2nd grade because they made us sing our class, We Are the World, and the other 2nd grade class was allowed to perform Super Bowl Shuffle for the talent show.
That seems like some horseshit.
I was like, why are we fucking having to sing We Are the World when we can be singing Super Bowl Shuffle? This is completely unfair. So I did complain about that, but no one listened.
Would you say that you feel like it belongs on the list? Do you feel comfortable
Super Bowl
with that?
Shuffle is Super Bowl Shuffle is the OG. That is where that's the king. That's the Godfather.
Yeah, it kind of inspired everybody else.
Absolutely.
I would like to know how much cocaine was done in that studio to get that song out, because it feels like an 80s on coke situation.
Oh, it's got some horrible lines too, that like Jim McMahon calls himself the Punky QB. He's like, my name's McMahon, I'm the Punky QB. Like the Punky QB. What the fuck is
We're not allowed to say the word I would call you if it was up to me. But what I liked about that one is it was the players, but for me, it's more about the fans making songs as tributes to the team. So what I have coming at number 4, and I am from Central Pennsylvania, so it may be a bit biased, is the one for the
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Steelers, here we go. Pittsburgh's going to Super Bowl. Here we go.
Cheer the Steelers, black and the gold.
Here we go.
This town of Pittsburgh's heart and soul.
Here we go.
With our power, we'll get the job done. This is the year we'll get that one for the thumb.
Here we go.
All right. I like this. I'm not sure I'd heard that, but it sounds like something that that sounds like a Super Bowl song you would have heard of, like the town in Twin Peaks.
Exactly. And that's kind of what Pittsburgh is. That's why it's such a good one to me.
Like I could have envisioned like Agent Cooper having a coffee and a slice of pie at that little diner and listening to that song.
That's part of the reason why it's at 4. The other reason why it's there is it feels like the Jets song that Earl did, but they were actually in the Super Bowl.
Oh,
and we know the
that's
Jets
a good
are
point.
never there.
Earl's Jet song does not qualify technically.
No. Now this next song is less about the Super Bowl, but it is a fan-inspired one about the team. And this one was in response the year before the Lions didn't win any games. So when they won their first game, this rapper dropped a song called "The Lions Won a Game," and everybody was like, "Oh, that's going to be a one-hit wonder." And then they won their second.
Hey,
game
Nino, that
season,
camera on.
Intercepted. Over Warriors. Down the sideline. Still running.
Hey, you know the Lions won again, bitch. You know the Lions won again.
Get it out. Get it out of here. Out. 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 Out.
No.
No. We just said Earl's song is not eligible because it's not a Super Bowl song. That's a song and nothing to do with the Super Bowl. Out. Disqualify. I don't even want to think about that song for the rest of my life.
May I put one asterisk in there?
Go ahead.
Since he released that song, the Lions have completely turned around their franchise. And
they have not been to a Super Bowl yet.
Well, I couldn't talk myself out of that one.
No,
I would.
That's a bad job on your part. There are fucking rules to the goddamn society, Robert. We're making the 5 best Super Bowl songs. You can't put a fucking non-Super Bowl song on the goddamn fucking list, Robert. What's number 2?
Well, number 2 is probably one of the biggest hits of all time, commercially, that ever came out of a Super Bowl.
Oh,
I don't want to talk about too much. It kind of speaks for itself.
Ooh. It's Giants time in the Super Bowl. Eli Manning and Antrell Rowe gonna win. Yeah, dominate, baby. Gonna fuck the shit out of Tom Brady. That's right. Lawrence Times kicking in your face. Yeah. Tom Coughlin, give us some bass. Bob Dylan said, gonna fuck the shit out of Tom Brady. Tickle me Elmo, no tackle me Osie. Belichick, Brady, all pussy and pussy. Giants Cape Fear, Eli's Max Cady, gonna ruin your boat. Badly, Tom Brady. Break it down, Roy Schaefer. Come on!
It's a David Max Sports program. Subscribe on iTunes, Daddy, and listen on Sirius XM.
Wyclef Jean is from fucking Haiti. Gonna Fuji your shit. Tom Brady. Pirate says, ahoy, matey. Gonna walk the plank and fuck you, Tom Brady. With the Giants, damn Nick Coleman is 80. Fucking dagger your ass, Tom Brady. Woo! Yeah! Davey Max Sports program. You know what time it is. Yeah, hard to argue with that. By the way, I just found on YouTube somewhere the making of F. Tom Brady
Oh,
which it's about 4 or 5 minute, documentary on the behind the scenes. Roy Harder and myself and Sean Barry and Chris Pepper Stanley putting that song together. Of course, I wrote those, what I consider to be Dylan-esque lyrics, being the wordsmith that I am. Roy wrote all the music, so it's a full-on Lennon-McCartney situation there. And I mean, come on. That's a fucking hit right there. And do you remember, I don't know if you remember this, but there were like 2 guys from Denver who came out, who went on YouTube and did a Fuck Tom Brady song.
yes, I do remember that. Not nearly as good as yours. Not nearly as impactful.
It was so douchey. They were all about being cute. And that's what I hate when it comes to anyone doing comedy, radio, podcasting, whatever. Don't be so vain. Don't be worried about what you look like or how you appear. Just fucking give us the content, bitch.
Well, I'm so vain. I think that comment was about me.
That's the fucking song, man. That's the fucking Carly Simon's fucking song, man.
What I would say to those assholes is their song didn't inspire a win. It's hard to get better than a fan-made song about a team in the Super Bowl that inspires the team to win the Super Bowl.
Hey, again, we brought it up on Davey Max Sports Program. Lawrence Tynes, who I interviewed. Lawrence Tynes said after the Giants beat the Patriots, they went back in the locker room and were blasting Fuck Tom Brady. They were blasting my song. Don't take my word for it. Lawrence Tynes, the Giants kicker, go tweet at him. He's right on Twitter. He says absolutely. We were pumping the shit out of that song, and everyone knew every single goddamn word. The Giants were singing Fuck Tom Brady after the Super Bowl. That is one of the coolest things I have ever heard in my life. I'm sorry. Don't forget, I'm the guy who got razzle-dazzle on Lost. Brian K. Vaughan was such a huge fan of the Ron Fez show that he wanted to take a phrase from from a signature bit, from a signature sketch. He went, board gossip is lightning on fire. I'll use razzle dazzle. Boom. But this was insane. To have the Giants be actually celebrating winning the Super Bowl with your song?
Yeah.
That's it. That's the highlight of my life.
And with all that riding on the line, you might be asking yourself, well, what song could possibly top that?
Yeah, you son of a bitch. When you fucking hit it, I go, number 2.
I heard that. And here's what does it for me. Yes, that's probably commercially the biggest hit, most impactful. But when you really become a fan of someone who makes a song for their team, and then they release a deep cut that can only be found in rare places, for me, that makes it the best of all time. So coming in at number 1, we've got the Davey Mack acoustic cover.
Oh, yeah.
It's Giants time in the Super Bowl. Eli Manning and Intro gonna win. Yeah, dominate, baby. Good of us here, Tom Brady. Tickle me, Emma, tackle me, O.C. Belichick, Brady, of a bully and pussy. Orange tide, kick in your face in the time cobbling. Give me some brace. Dabney Coleman, this is it, they gonna push it out of Tom Brady.
Yeah, I mean that's an incredible performance. I mean you're seeing my brilliance on the guitar. A lot of people don't realize, just like Paul McCartney, I am a southpaw and I am a left-handed guitarist. Kurt Cobain, Paul McCartney, Jimmy Page. Who else? Come on, let's go. Come on, faster.
Hendrix?
I fucking said Jimi Hendrix already. What's his face from Black Sabbath? Iommi. He's lefty.
Yeah, big time.
There we go. That's your Mount Rushmore. Iommi, Jimmy, McCartney,
McDonald,
Dave Man, and then Cobain.
Cobain's structure on the Mount Rushmore just got chiseled away.
Cobain came in at number 5. What can I tell you?
And it got knocked off.
You shouldn't have shot yourself. If you had 2 or 3 more albums, you would have gotten up there.
Absolutely. Well, his wife's dad worked for the CIA. I'm sure that had nothing to do with it. But no, it doesn't get much better than that. It doesn't get much better than you, Dave, man. You're the shit. We did learn on the East Davey Max Sports program that's a unique guitar riff. Do you want to tell people about that, and then we'll get out of here?
Oh, yeah. I've written one guitar riff in my entire life. It was for a song that I wrote, also the lyrics to, called Eat Your Brains. It was a song, and Eat Your Brains is on YouTube. You can find that performed by myself, Roy Harder, and Sean Barry. And it was for the ECW Zombie, who was a big fan of mine and the show. He's no longer with us, but he's a big, huge wrestler, ECW Zombie. On his passing, we wrote that song for him. I repurposed the music for that version of F. Tom Brady. That is the same riff, yes. Only that is on a shitty acoustic guitar.
And that's a beautiful version. That's a beautiful story. I like that you're the McCartney, Roy's the Lennon, and Shano's the Ringo of your Beatles, because Ringo was always my favorite.
Oh.
On that note, Dave, got anything you want to plug?
That's it, folks. Davey Max Sports Program. Make sure you're watching. Just subscribe to YouTube. Okay? It's Eastside Dave TV. YouTube. You got the Davey Max Sports Program. You got the older episodes of Tales from the Satellite. You got all the stuff. The Star Wars, the wrestling, the this, the that. All kinds of things going on. And patreon.com/EastsideDave.
And for me, follow me at Bobby Tamburo, but all my important projects are with Dave. If you want to see me do comedy live, I'll tweet it out. But other than that, check out the stuff I'm doing with Dave, and we'll catch you guys next time. Enjoy the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I want to say, have a fantastic Super Bowl. I think it should be a good one. I am going with Chiefs 31, Eagles 28 for the record. I do think Mahomes will figure out a way to get this three-peat. But like I said, if Saquon goes off, I actually want him to win the Super Bowl, just to give a huge middle finger to Joe Shane, John Mara, and the other stupid giant front office nitwits who let that guy walk away to a division rival like that. In any event, thank you all so much for supporting Tales from the Satellite. Have a great, great Super Bowl.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next time. And until then, good night, radio fans.
Pussy and pussy. Giants Cape Fear. Eli's Max Katie gonna ruin your boat. Badly, Tom Brady. Break it down, Roy Schaefer. Come on. It's a David Max Sports Program. Subscribe on iTunes, Daddy, and listen on Sirius XM. Wyclef Jean is from fucking Haiti. Gonna Fuji your shit. Tom Brady. Pirate says, ahoy, matey. Gonna watch the plague and